Hey, welcome everyone. Who's ready for the Bahrain Grand Prix? I hope we're in for an interesting one today, guys. I really do. Because there is a possibility, unfortunately, as it always is in F1, but there is a possibility that this could be not as interesting as qualifying. Hey, Kaz. Hey, Monk. How's it going? Kat, good to see ya. Poxy. Sam. Hey. Let's run a poll, shall we? So I did run it on my community page, but let's run a poll of who we think is going to win today. I think who will win the Bahrain GP. Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez, Charles Leclerc. Actually, I'm going to put Ferrari, because I think either one of the Ferraris could win, but Charles is in pole position because he's got a better new set of softs available to him. And Fernando Alonso. Because the hype seems to be around Alonso. I don't think the Mercedes are in this. I really don't think they are. But yeah, I just hope it's not a boring race and we get a... If it's a Red Bull 1-2, fair enough. But if it's like them just driving off into the distance and no one really competing with them, then I don't think anyone, unless you're a Red Bull fan, no one really wants to see that. We at least want it to be interesting, guys, don't we? Right, let's do the whole social media thing. First race of the season. Bosh. Just like yesterday, I'll be watching Watchalong on the telly. No, nothing from me at 3. No worries, mate. 30 minutes, 30 minutes of formation. So the guys have just made their way around to the grid. That's what we just saw them coming out the pit box. So, yeah, rest in peace, Mercs, Jam. Rest in peace, Mercs. Did I start early for once? I did. Head of the game. Head of the game, guys. I got my coffee. So... Hey, Violet, good to see you back again. Good to see some regular faces from last season and yesterday. We are doing these from the get-go. It's last year, we only started them halfway through the year. Oh, tweets. Hang on, how do I copy a link? And just looking at the race start from last year. Did anyone see the F2 earlier on, by the way? Teo Porcher. What a drive from that man. He deserves an F1 seat for sure. And he's still young. I think he's not even 20 yet. But yes, hopefully this race throws up some interesting factors. We've got the strategy, which we'll have a look at in a second in regards to what tyres people have available. Pirelli tweet this out before every single race, so highly recommend you go and follow them if you're interested a little bit more in the strategy element, because that is obviously a big factor into winning races. They do tweet the information out, so we'll have a look at that in just a second. Sorry, I'm just flittering around with something. Couldn't believe the amount of people that came to your first stream. I couldn't, no, because I didn't expect to get over 500 people for the Hungaroring. That was our first ever F1 watch-along. And it was over 500 people. Bearing in mind, I'd only ever streamed at most to 70 people. So it was a massive jump. So, hey, Rich, welcome back, buddy. Come on, Alonso. Yes, I'd like to see Alonso do well. He's a feisty character. I'd like to see him get in the mix of things with the Red Bulls, but I don't know. I'm hearing on the grapevine that actually Aston Martin can't take it to the Red Bulls over a race distance. From the people that I know who are in the know in regards to the tech side of things and actually do the data analysis, their fight today, they reckon Alonso could take it to the Ferraris. And that Alonso could well and truly beat the Mercedes. End of the day, if Alonso finishes top 5 on merit today, like pace alone and strategy, that is brilliant. But Lance Stroll as well. Apparently Lance Stroll is racing with a broken toe as well. That's news that has just come out. So that guy truly is not a full fitness. Hey, Hamo, good to see you, buddy. The Astons went from slowest in first few races last season to being in the pole for a win. What a turnaround. Yeah, and that just obviously comes down to concept, doesn't it? They have they very early on last year, well, I say early on, like midway through the season, do you notice how there was a big furore about them copying in an essence, loosely, the design of the side pods as Red Bull? But Red Bull was so far ahead, it's actually probably quite smart. And plus, as well, there is a guy called Dan Fallows, who has come over from Red Bull to Aston Martin. We discussed this on stream a few days ago. I think it was in the practice sessions. So with F1, there is always like a lag in personnel actually having an impact on a new team and a new car. Because there's 6 months gardening leave with F1. So there is 6 months from someone leaving the company where they can't do anything with their new employer. So you have that 6 months, and then that person comes in and obviously brings all of their knowledge and implements like kind of their own ideas. And that expertise from that new employee, that isn't really going to come into effect until the following season after they join. So you've almost got a 2-year lag from someone joining from a great team like Red Bull, and their ideas and their concepts and their knowledge actually being implemented and coming through out on the racetrack. And that's what we're seeing now with Aston Martin, for sure. I reckon so. No tech engineer Ferrari, and they reckon in race pace is Red Bull, Ovs, then Merc, then Ferrari and Aston are equally third, slightly behind. They reckon Merc are doing quite good today. Yeah, the big key with Ferrari today is their degradation. So last year, they didn't have a very good race car. The car itself was quick over a single lap, like we kind of saw yesterday. I think Leclerc could have taken it to Verstappen if he went on that fresh set of soft tyres. But of course, they've saved the extra set of softs for today. And speaking of that, let's go have a look, shall we, at the tyres and the strategies for today. It's definitely a 2-stop strategy today. So, let's have a look at this, guys. What we have here, I'll move you guys up there, doesn't really matter too much at the moment, is the tyre allocations for today, what everyone else has available. So Max has a fresh set of hards and a fresh set of mediums. He has 4 used set of softs. Same as Perez. Leclerc has 2 set of hards, so does Sainz. But Leclerc here differently has a new set of softs. That's the big key there, because I assume they're most likely, we'll have a look at the best strategies in a second, but Pirelli have suggested, it looks like everyone's most likely going to start on the set of soft tyres. And Leclerc on a fresh set of softs compared to a used set on the Red Bulls could allow him to get ahead of him at the start. Russell, Hamilton both have 2 new sets of hards, and they don't have a set of new softs available. Alonso, same thing, 2 set of hards, 1 mediums. Now, I've been chatting to people who are more knowledgeable than me, and they've said the medium tyre isn't really a good race tyre. It's It's not as quick as the soft, and the hard. Apparently, the hard is running around similar pace to the medium, and it's longer wearing. And the medium is, of course, slower than the soft, but quicker wearing. So it's not really a usable tyre. So that's kind of irrelevant that they've got 2 new ones there. But let's have a look at the... it's interesting here that Logan Sargent's got 3 new set of soft tyres available. Wow. And Gasly. Keep an eye on Gasly starting P20 today, guys. And he'll be wanting to make up for amends yesterday. He'll be charging through that field, especially with 2 new sets of softs available to him. So let's go back and have a look at the ideal strategies for today that Pirelli have suggested. Now, this is intriguing because Pirelli normally always suggest at least a 1-stop. So one of their very close strategies is always a 1-stop, and there's not a single 1-stop that they've shown out of the 4 strategies here today. So, yeah, this will be intriguing. RV, thank you for the sub, buddy. Good to see you, mate. So everyone is well, I assume everyone will start on the softs, and then it depends on how you want to go. But I think most of the teams will be going for this strategy. They'll be going for the 2-stopper of the hard tyre, and then maybe the guys who have got 2 new fresh set of softs. Of course, this all depends on how the track develops, track evolution, and of course, if we get any safety cars, that's also going to come into effect as well, because that will help. That will help the tyres last longer. So apparently, Merc are super nice on the tyres on long run. Okay, well that's different to last year. So I think as Mercedes fans, we're really hoping that they've got better race pace than they have over a single lap. It doesn't bode well, but they've openly said they're not fighting for a win today. They're fighting for a podium. So that's the best that they can hope for. Max will win. Yeah, maybe. But this is it's going to be an interesting day. Logan Sargent's kind of overrated for me. He's only came in as an American driver. I think he's been quite fortunate to get into the Williams car. Yeah, for sure. There's the fact of it, he's an American driver, massively comes into that role because of the commercial cha-ching opportunities that will present themselves in regards to sponsors and like merchandise and things like that with having an American driver. He's the only American driver on the grid, remember? So you're right there, just cleaning yourself up here. Down you go. Not having you get in the way today. Do I think Lado will manage points today? Where is he starting 11th? No. No, I think he's very fortunate to get up to where he is in 11th position. I don't think that McLaren over race distance didn't look great, did it, in testing and in practice. So I don't think he'll get points today. If he gets points, I think it'll be due to some retirements and some luck. So Piastri, obviously, he's got something to prove. So is Nick De Vries. Gasly's the one, really. I think Gasly, the Alpine has got some pace behind it. It's the best of the rest outside of the top 4 teams. I'm going to say top 4 now because Aston Martin definitely seem to be up there in the top 4. And I think Gasly will make his way up through that pack quite quickly if he has no issues. So, whereas the missus, she's up there watching it on the TV. Did you watch the F2 feature race? Yeah, it was good, wasn't it, Sam? It was good. It was interesting. That first lap reminded me of so many open wheel races on iRacing. So many. We have just under 20 minutes until the race starts, guys. So not too long. F3 flashbacks, yes, Jazz, definitely. McLaren's slowest car on the grid today. One of the slowest cars. I think the AlphaTauri. I think the AlphaTauri, the Williams, and the McLaren are quite equal at the moment, which is bad to say. So we'll see. But then Albon, Albon had an issue in Q2 yesterday, which is why he wasn't able to set a lap. So he possibly had an opportunity of taking that Williams into Q3 yesterday, or at least further up the grid than where he's starting at the moment. So yeah, keep an eye on Albon. He might actually have a good race here today. Turn 4 look like Sakir 2020 all over again. Hey Alfie, welcome back, buddy. Good to see you, mate. Oh. Don't know my Haas from my Albon. Someone on the grid has said. Does he get to interview anyone interested in Martin Brundle? Let's have a look. Watching the pre-race show, and it's really nice seeing the Haas for the sponsors after how barren the delivery was. Yeah. Jeremy Clarkson's there. Great to see Jeremy Clarkson on the grid. Good to see him. It's incredible how slow AlphaTauri is, considering it's basically got the Red Bull's rear end. Yeah. Yeah, there's some issues there with that AlphaTauri, isn't there? McLaren's going to end up like Williams being one of the worst teams to one of the best to the worst. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're at risk of losing Lando Norris as well next year, aren't they? I think. What are you doing up there? Paul Clarkson will be on his farm. He's taken a break from ploughing the fields. Yeah, I don't know. I really hope that McLaren do get their act together, but it doesn't look promising, does it? It's another slow start for him this year, exactly like it was last year. Oh, Christian Horner, everyone's favourite man in F1, now speaking on the grid. It's not on Top Gear. We put needles in Verstappen's tyres. The places Lance Stroll. Mercedes are still fiddling with the cars. Jeremy wouldn't fit in the McLaren. He's put on some timber, isn't he, over the years? Thing with Alpha having the Red Bull rear reminds me of Aston 2021, how they weren't able to understand the Merc 2019. Yeah, I think the thing is as well is that you have to remember that with AlphaTauri, it is the junior team. It is with Red Bull. Obviously, they've got the creme de la creme of F1 minds, and AlphaTauri. There's only so much they can do. Of course, it's all well and good, like maybe necessarily saying being able to copy someone, but being able to implement it is another thing entirely. And of course, AlphaTauri doesn't run the Red Bull power unit. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. It runs the Ferrari unit. So it's also not going to receive the same amount of power that the Red Bull does. So, because they've still got a reliance there, hence why they're called AlphaTauri Scuderia, isn't it, or something? Or, so, where would Lando go? I don't know. Ferrari have always been quite ruthless. Would they get rid of Carlos Sainz if he doesn't have a good year this year? There's potential there. I don't think anyone's really spoken about that because he had a very poor year last year. Red Bull, we could maybe join Max. I've always said I think Lando's next step is going to be when Hamilton retires and Lando would step up into the Mercedes seat. That's what I thought might be the next step for him, but who knows? Stranger things have happened in F1, haven't they? They were Honda too now, James, are they? Okay, fair enough. Every time a team thinks they're coming back. Yeah. Red Bull everything now. Okay, fair enough. Well, yeah, my point still stands. They don't have the same engineers and the technicians and strategy team, etc., as Red Bull. They've got the creme de la creme, and they're the B team. It's like when you have football teams or soccer teams or whatever, and you have an A team and then you have a B team. And you have obviously generally the better manager who's managing that team, the A team and the better players. And the B team, it's the same name, but it's not the same players and it's not as good a manager. So you think when Audi joins, he'll join them? Well, Audi is basically just taking over what Alfa Romeo is. So they're still going to have drivers. There's still going to be Bottas and Zhou if they sign extensions of their contracts. But yeah, but Audi may have different mindset in regards to drivers and opinions of who they want to bring in. I definitely would. I wouldn't be particularly happy with a Bottas and Zhou partnership. If I was looking at 2026, Bottas is going to be in his late 30s. Zhou, still a lot to prove. This is his first. He's not a rookie no more, so we'll see. But you'd be wanting to go out for someone like Lando Norris, wouldn't you? 1,000 miles of Sebring is in 12 days' time. Yeah, hypercar era starts soon. The Le Mans entry list looks good, doesn't it? The endurance. So for anyone who's just joining, welcome. Good to see you all. We are just over 10 minutes away from the race starting, or the formation lap. At the moment, everyone's just currently on the grid, which is why we're just on the just chatting screen. So I'm going to do that for a few more minutes longer, and then we'll change it over to our track map and our live timing data. And then, yeah, we'll be very soon starting the first lap of the season. I have, of course, as well, Sky F1 on my mobile, which is on next to me, which you guys can't see. Copyright reasons, we cannot show that image. But yes, use me as you like, guys. I like to show the track map so we have a visual representation of the cars on track, rather than just timing and just looking at my pretty face. Lando probably ain't going to get his first win this year. No. Andretti, yeah, maybe. Hang on. Just listening to Ted Kravitz talking about Charles Leclerc's car. Oh, yeah, so Ferrari have already changed. I did read this actually. Ferrari on Charles Leclerc's car have already changed the battery. You're only allowed 2 battery changes per year. They've already used one, and the first race hasn't even started. Doesn't bode well, does it? The Golf airplane is just constantly circling the grid, and the camera just occasionally focuses it. This is what I love about what we're about to see, guys. So I'll tell you what, I'll change it over now. I will change. Oh, hang on. Wrong scene, guys. Here we go. This is the one. So what we see on this track map, and what I've loved about watching F1 races this way, is that this is primarily how I watch the races now, because you get the whole picture. You get to see how the midfield is getting on and how people are fighting out back and the gaps that are forming. On TV, we don't get that. There's only so much coverage they can show. Of course, like they're only able to focus on like one camera at a time. And yeah, this shows the whole picture and keeps us updated, which is great. So comment on Twitter about a battery change. Might be a software glitch that's easy to fix, so they might be able to reuse the battery later in the season. Yeah, that's true. They've definitely swapped it out, is what I just heard. They said it's still fully charged, but there was some anomalies that they saw. So we'll see. I'm just going to reload the chat because I hate it when it throws up the names in a colour that I don't like. Hang on. That's a very contrasting colour, and I cannot change the names. Why is Perez so far ahead? Oh, it's just a glitch. He'll jump back. Don't worry, he hasn't got a head start. I think Perez is quite quiet this week. I think he possibly could do something this race, but he has to do it on outright pace because, as we know, he's quite clearly the number 2 driver. And Max, even in the first race, I think if Perez is leading and it's close, they'll ask Perez to move aside. But yeah, not long to go, guys. Not long to go. Do I think Max will break the Bahrain curse? Yeah, who knows? That is a curse, isn't it? At the moment. So for anyone who doesn't know, the last 7 race winners of the Bahrain Grand Prix have gone on to finish 2nd in the championship. Hey, Kaka, welcome, buddy. Not a clue what's going to happen, Tom. Yeah, I don't know. I think everyone is predicting that Red Bull are just going to go off into the distance. That it's going to be an easy race win for them because they quite clearly have the quickest car. But stranger things have happened in Bahrain. It's the first race of the season. Reliability issues, safety cars. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Hot take, both Red Bull and both Ferrari's DNF and Alonso wins. Could you imagine? You think Horner looked rattled? Maybe. I think he's just trying to play it down, as you probably want to try and do as a team principal. It's the first race of the season. Can't get too far ahead of yourself. Qualifying is still only that. Qualifying is 1 lap. Having having the fastest car over a single lap is not the be all and end all, and qualifying isn't as important as it used to be. So the race is where it's won. Strategy. Who knows? We might see a strategy masterclass today from Ferrari, in complete contrast to how the whole of last season was. Will Buxton's prediction for Verstappen, Alonso, Gasly for the Gasly. Right. Predictions. What are my predictions, guys? So my predictions are... So I've got a hopeful prediction. I'm going to give you 2 predictions. I've got a hopeful prediction, and then I've got my logical prediction. So my head is telling me it's going to be Verstappen, Perez, and Leclerc, as it is. I just got a feeling we might see a boring race today. I really hope it isn't. But I think Verstappen, Perez, Leclerc, even if Leclerc maybe gets ahead at the start on the fresher softs, I just think the Red Bulls are still too quick for everyone else. But my heart is telling me it's going to be Leclerc first, Perez second, Verstappen third, and Alonso fourth. I think Sainz might have a shocker today. I generally do, and I think the Mercedes might beat him. I mean, Stroll. I'm saying Stroll's going to finish where he is because I don't think he's quite clearly not a peak physicality at the moment, and I think that's going to let him down. When he gets up to, like, his wrist is repaired and his toe, it's a good thing really, but there's a couple of weeks between this and the next race. I think you'll start to see him actually put up more of a fight to those guys in front. Might be pleasantly surprised today, but I think that's just going to hold him back. Thanks, Tom. Thank you, buddy. And Hans, thank you for the sub earlier on. And thank you anyone else who has subbed. Much appreciated. We'll be doing these watch-alongs throughout the season. I'll try and make as many practice sessions as I can. Of course, they fall on a Friday, the first 2 sessions. So I'm normally at work. And then on the Saturday, practice 3 isn't always that important. But qualifying and the race will always try and make this year. There's a lot of races this year. 23 now? 23 because China got removed. So yeah, I'm going to try and make every single one that I can. And we'll let you guys know in advance if for some reason there is one that I'm not able to make. But yeah, really enjoy these and looking forward to our first of the season. Won't Charles have a bit of an advantage with a new compound? Yes, Alfie, yes. So this is it. I'm hoping Leclerc launches Perez or at least one of the Red Bulls at the start because we know how powerful the DRS is here. And I think the Ferrari is close enough in speed to be able to get past Verstappen with DRS and stay with him. And we saw obviously the chopping and changing between those two last year with the DRS. Fun fact, the DRS is actually slightly shorter this year than it was last year. I think the DRS started a little bit further back last year, more kind of just on the exit of turn 15. So they've done that to try and promote people going side by side into the first corner, rather than it being like a complete switcheroo in essence. But yeah, we'll see. George's piercing eyes on the F1 intro. There's a meme, guys. There's a meme of George Russell where he's standing there, like in between a wall, and people have photoshopped it into some brilliant scenarios. So here we go, guys. We have the tyre blankets off, and you can see everyone there is on the soft tyre except Magnussen. Interesting by Haas. Interesting. He's the only driver not on a set of softs. That's interesting. Haas Masterclass, are we about to see? First milestone on the stream. Yeah, 100 people here. Thank you, guys. Welcome, everyone. Hit the subscribe button. If we could get this stream to over 100 likes, that'd be really appreciative. Helps push the stream forward and in front of new viewership, and helps to continue to grow the channel. So much appreciated. Second guess, Verstappen, Perez, Alonso. I think Perez is a sneaky one here today. He was only a 10th behind Verstappen in qualifying. He's looked very good through testing, very good through practice. It's just gone about his business, but we know the stumbling block in Perez winning races, of course, is Max and Red Bull. So Perez needs to get out quite clearly ahead of Verstappen to allow him to win a race. Otherwise, yeah, that you know there's going to be a little let Max through call on the radio. Haas one stop, maybe. I mean, the two stop is still a hard tyre, so we had a look at this earlier on. The hard tyre, the strategy today is hard. Well, there's multiple two-stop strategies, but I think the optimum was soft, hard, soft, or soft, hard, hard. So he might be going hard, hard, soft, and being on the quicker tyre at the end of the race. We'll see. Magnussen, they might also be thinking of safety cars. Generally, there's always a safety car in the first race. So if they're on the more durable tyre and can run longer while everyone else has to pit and a safety car comes out, then they in essence get a free pit stop and they're able to jump and overcut everyone. So I think that's probably coming into Haas's head there, that they're probably predicting that there's going to be a safety car. The softs are going to pit around, let me get that stat back up for my own purposes so that we can keep an eye on it throughout the race. So they're saying, Pirelli's strategies are saying that it's around lap 12 to 17, or around lap 12 to 20. Quite a big difference there depending on whether you're on new or used tyres for the first pit stops to come around. And then the two quickest, as they go on their formation lap, guys, we are underway. The two quickest strategies, guys, they're saying is the soft, hard, soft. And then the second closest is the soft, hard, hard. So clearly, Magnussen, they're trying to do the hard, soft, I assume. Or maybe they've got two softs available. I can't remember if they've got how many new tyres they've got available. But we will see. But here we are. Our first formation lap of the season, guys. F1 is back well and truly. Yes, Marlin, it is indeed. So let's see what this race has in store for us. I really hope it's a good one. I really hope it's interesting. Just for the sake of F1. Harsh delusion syndrome. I don't think so. I think that's kind of what they're going for. Ooh, I'm G'd up, guys. I'm G'd up. Hit that like button before we start this race, guys. Subscribe as well. Come on, you know you want to. F1 is well and truly here. It is back. I wonder if F1 is actually going to be on top of their graphics this afternoon as well, because their graphics in the F2 race were Didn't even work, did they? For a lot of the race, I didn't know who was who. So Verstappen backing up the pack as they come down the back straight there. Of course, the sooner he gets into his grip position, the cooler those tyres get. It's at a disadvantage to him. Of course, Perez and Verstappen starting on the used soft tyres. Leclerc is the only one of that front 10 drivers who is starting on a fresh set of soft tyres. So Leclerc is really the one we want to be watching here. Is he going to get a better launch than the Red Bulls? Is he able to capitalise on those fresh tyres? Of course, he'll be able to go a bit longer as well in his initial stint. So, let's see. And of course, a feisty Fernando Alonso there sitting in 5th position. What is he got to say in regards to this start? Oh no, my TV coverage is slacking a bit. Let's put that back on, reload it up. There we go, back up. Happy days. Start of the hype train. Here we go. As they line up. Oh, I'm so jittery, I'm so fidgety. I can't wait. Lance had a little lock up. He did, yeah, he did. That's not going to do well for him on the start. Dirty tyres at the start. Maybe he was able to scrub them off a little bit more as he got to the start. But here we go as they line up. De Vries and Gasly bringing up the rear. Let's see. We are only seconds away from the start of the first race of the season, the Bahrain Grand Prix, as they are now into position. Here we go. The lights are on, and it is lights out, and away we go. There they are as they head down into the first corner. Seems like everyone is in position at the moment. Keep an eye on the relative. But still, there's lots of change in there. Leclerc has got ahead of Perez. Stroll, Russell has dropped back and lost a lot of positions. Seems like he's bogged down as well as Ocon. He's gained the position back from Norris, but Leclerc jumping Perez there as he needed to. And Bottas has made a great start. So has Piastri down there, up into 16th position. Russell getting the slipstream behind Stroll and going straight past him. A quick yellow flag there as guys probably going wide at turn 4. But Leclerc, essential for him to be able to get up into P2 there and ahead of Perez. Sainz holding position. Hamilton and Russell gaining a spot now. So Russell really struggled there at the start, but he's gained those positions back as we're looking at the TV coverage now. But Alonso has dropped down into 7th. Not good for him. So let's have a look at the start on TV. Perez got, oh wow, Sainz got a great start as well, but Perez had to cover both of them off. Leclerc swoops round the outside. A great start for him. Let's have a look. Everyone holding position thus far. Verstappen gaining a bit of a lead on Leclerc. He really needs to close that gap. Stay within that DRS. Who went off? Wow. Alonso and Stroll both touched. Who's got... They were thinking that Alonso might have a puncture, but I think he's got away with it, it seems, because he's still holding position. If he had a puncture, he'd be dropping down the pack. But that's clearly how George Russell was able to gain those positions back. And there is a yellow flag. There is a yellow flag. What has happened here? Is this due to some debris? Is this due to some debris? Because they're all going down the main straight. I wonder if someone's lost a little bit of their front wing end plate with... Is it Lance Stroll? Why is there a yellow flag? This is interesting. No one is off the track at the moment. Everyone seems to be holding position. So we've got Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Alonso, Bottas, Stroll down in 9th position. Norris, Ocon, Albon and Sargent making a great start up. The yellow flag has been removed. Sargent up into 13th position. A great start from him. The Williams doing quite nicely there. Hulkenberg. Oh, Hulkenberg has dropped 4 positions down into P14. Tsunoda 15th, Piastri 16th. Zhou has dropped quite a few positions as well. Gasly is only up 2 positions as Magnussen, as we expect, probably expect him to drop back on the quite considerably slower hard tyre compared to the softs, and Nick De Vries at the back as well. But the pack is still quite bunched up, it seems, which is quite nice. But Verstappen already nearly 2 seconds ahead of Leclerc there. Wow. Ominous pace already on a used set of soft tyres, and Leclerc is on the hards. This could be Verstappen. This could be race over already. Nice seeing you all, guys. We'll see you next week. So just Lance Stroll went. Alonso was just a complete passenger there. Lance Stroll went diving straight into turn 4 and just couldn't slow the car down, which is why he tagged him. But at the moment, no DRS is now enabled this lap, so this is where we'll most likely see a few drivers change position. Although Perez, Perez has just got inside of Leclerc's DRS. But let's see if Leclerc now, as they get into a bit of comfort, let's see if Leclerc can catch up to Verstappen. But yeah, we will see. Will those used tyres of Verstappen start to wear off a lot sooner than Leclerc's new soft tyres? That'll be a key thing. But look how bunched up the pack is. This is great to see. There's only 14 seconds between P1 and P20. Normally, it's already double than that after the first couple of laps. Lance hit Alonso to T4 and lost the end plate on the straight. I believe that's why there was a yellow. Yeah. Already another season with rocket ship Red Bulls, maybe. Well, definitely is to start off with, it seems. I mean, 2.3 seconds ahead now of Leclerc, Verstappen. Perez is just outside of the DRS. Keep an eye out on Carlos Sainz here and Hamilton and Russell. They're all within the DRS. Alonso is dropping a little bit further back. Wonder if he's had a little bit of damage. It didn't seem like anything flew off of his car. But yeah, from Perez back to Russell, they're all within DRS. So let's see what will happen here. I think Leclerc has just stayed ahead of, yes, he is just outside of that 1 second DRS line for Perez. So let's see if Sainz is able to gain up on him here as they head down to the first corner. You can see those intervals dropping down, especially with Sainz, 2 DRS zones, one after another. Is he going to be close enough, half a second, to be able to overtake him into T4? He lost a bit of traction out of T1. You can see there, he lost 2 tenths out of T1. Wow, that's quite a lot. That is quite a lot. Clearly, the Red Bull a lot better out of the slower corners. Oh my God, Perez nearly hit Leclerc, or Leclerc and Perez really came close together there, guys. Wow. But look at that. 6 tenths quicker last lap Verstappen was. 3.1 seconds ahead of Leclerc. Wow. Look at this. This is just, he's picked up from last year. This is basically the second half of last season all over again. Just continued. This is crazy. Of course, a very long way to go in the race, but this is ominous pace from Verstappen in the Red Bull already. Hamilton and Russell, Hamilton's just outside of the DRS from Sainz. At the moment, the closest battle here is really with Leclerc, Perez and Sainz. Russell and Hamilton, we know they're probably going to hold station. Stroll is on the back of Bottas, who is doing really well to be up in 8th position, by the way. So let's have a little look further down the field, because it's not all about it happening up front, guys. Let's have a look. So we have Albon up in 11th position. Well done from Albano. Go on the boy. Norris sitting there in 10th position. Ocon is 10th position. I'd expect him to be further up the grid, to be honest. He's struggling for a bit of pace, 39.5. I mean, Stroll's now got past Bottas with the DRS, so that should really sort out the top 8 cars now and allow Stroll to close up onto the back of Alonso. Magnussen at the back of the pack now, as to be expected. Logan Sargent has just overtaken Lando Norris. Oh, and Norris has just got it back. So he overtook him, and then Norris got it back with the turn 4 corner. Great to see. But let's have a look. Anyone else down there? Sonoda's Lynn, 14th. Hulkenberg, really the biggest loser here at the moment. 5 places down in P15. Not good, not good. It's no fun having this much dominance. It's not. He's already in the 37s, Verstappen. Already 37.9. He was nearly a second quicker than Leclerc last lap. This is crazy. He's over a second quicker than the Mercedes. This is unbelievable already, and we're only lap 5 into the season. I think Max is just going to gain almost 1 second every lap. It does seem like it, and he's on used softs. I mean, look, stranger things have happened in races, of course. We'll see. We'll see if this continues. But Perez is on the back of Leclerc now. So Leclerc, that Ferrari, maybe not as good as on those tyres as well. They're not as good on the tyres as everyone expected. But Sainz is now 2 seconds behind Perez. He's had a little bit of a wobble somewhere, Carlos Sainz. Let's have a look. I wonder if they'd showed it. Oh, Leclerc locked up. Leclerc locked up into turn 2, which is why, or turn 1, which is why Perez is now all over the back of him. So let's see. Perez will most likely have Leclerc next time around. He's staying within kind of 6 tenths, half a second. The Mercedes going along quite nicely. They're just plodding along. Alonso doesn't seem to be able to close the gap. 1.8 seconds. Difference there, but the back of the pack is really in a bit of a train at the moment, aren't they? There's a bit of a train forming behind Ocon and Albon. Perez will be told to hold up. I don't know. I think they'll just be told to get a move on, to be honest. Disappointing so far for K-Mag. Was really hoping Haas had some pace for this year, but K-Mag's really fallen. Yeah, but he's on hard tyres though, Killer. So they're on a completely different strategy. I think they're hoping, end of the day, everyone ahead of him is going to have to pit 8 laps, 10 laps, maybe, probably 10 laps earlier than he is. They're probably hoping to make a big overcut, move their way up the grid and hope for a safety car because it's the first race of the season. There's always reliability issues. Someone always ends up, like there might be debris, something of that sort where it's a virtual safety car and they get a free pit stop. Something of that like, and I think that's what Haas are aiming for here. But Hulkenberg is struggling a bit, isn't he? Down in 15th position. But there's a definite train forming there. Stroll and Alonso starting to pull away from Bottas. Great driving from Bottas, by the way. Up in 9th position. Zhou is not doing too great down in 17th. I'm still really surprised by Gasly, guys. Gasly down in 18th position. He's not getting to grips with that Alpine, is he? He's not doing great. But let's jump back up to the top of the grid. Verstappen nearly 5 seconds ahead of Leclerc now. Another 37.9 from Verstappen last time around, and Leclerc at 38.5. I mean, he's 7 tenths quicker than next closest car. Obscene. Doubt there's going to be many team orders right now. Well, you'll be surprised. It is F1 after all. I'm a Ferrari fan, but when Merck talks about Red Bull dominance be bad for the sport is a bit rich. It is a little bit, yeah. It is. I mean, I don't want to see dominance of any sort, really. I mean, to be fair, I don't care about dominance. If a team wins outright every single year, but with a close fight, then fair enough. I don't mind that. But if it's like going to be like this every single race, or as it was in the second half of last season, then you don't. As a fan of F1, I don't want that. I want to sit here and I want there to be an intriguing fight for every single race, for at least the championship throughout the season. Of course, there's going to be the odd race here and there where someone will win by 20 odd seconds or whatever, but this is quite ominous already. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So Perez is now outside of the DRS of Leclerc. He is close enough to be in the slipstream though. He is gaining out of the slower corners, especially out of turn 1. The Red Bull much better under traction than the Ferrari, it seems. But Hamilton and Russell doing very similar pace there. 39.7 last time around. Russell a 1 minute 40. So they're obviously aiming for a podium today. That is their aim. And of course, to stay ahead of the Aston Martins, because Alonso has closed down that gap by about 3 tenths, it seems. But everyone holding station at the moment. It seems like the race is... we're in the first stage of the race. About another 5 laps is when we may start to see the first of those soft runners come in and pit, which is basically 19 out of 99% of the field. So, hey Shane, good to see you, mate. Stroll doing a good job to the team, even though he is an injury. Yeah, well, he is. He nearly did take out Alonso, though. Who do I think will be the rookie of the year? I don't know, to be fair. Who are the rookies this year? Sargent, De Vries and Piastri, aren't they? I mean, it's difficult to tell because they've all got similar pace cars. There's going to be different development. I mean, I've got I like Piastri. I'm hoping Piastri does, but so far Logan Sargent is doing a great job, isn't he? And he's in the DRS of Lando Norris. But it's intriguing that Bottas is staying ahead of Ocon quite comfortably. They're lapping very similar lap times. The Alpine isn't that good of a race car. And Gasly is stuck languishing down in 18th place in a DRS train. Can't on outright pace get past the guys ahead. Oh, wow. So Russell has just said, is Lewis managing or is he struggling? Because I've got a bit more pace. And he came on the radio and said, struggling. Lewis is struggling. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, guys. Hopefully it isn't, Rex. Hopefully it isn't. But we are only in the first stages of the race. We haven't had the first pit stop yet. This is a 2-stop race. We know 2 stops are a lot more interesting than 1 stops. Could still have safety cars as well. So I think we might see things stay as it is now. We've got about 3 to 4 more laps until we have the first round of pit stops. And then things will get interesting. Started watching just now. Not going to lie, I think Alonso and Stroll will be a great duo. Look at them. Yeah, I mean, Alonso is catching up to Russell. So in all of that midst, Alonso is now within the DRS of George Russell. And Hamilton might have to let Russell past if he can't get ahead because, or if he can't pick up the pace, because Russell is going to be under attack from Alonso, and Stroll is closing up as well. But Verstappen is now 6.5 seconds ahead of Leclerc. And this is crazy as well because Verstappen is technically on a used set of soft tyres and Leclerc was on the brand new set. Theoretically, he should be quicker. But he's not. Look at it. And Gasly is in the pits. That had to be done by Alpine. That had to be done. They had to try something different, get him into clean air and see if he could do the undercut because he was just not making any headway whatsoever. So lap 10, this is a strategic call by Alpine to try and get Gasly into some free air, which he definitely will do, and see if he can put his foot down and get ahead of these guys because he was in like a 10-car train there. That's the hope, Imran. That is the hope that we do at least get. Downshifts are giving me a bit of rear locking, Max Sam. Don't give us hope, Max. Please don't. Come on, Hamilton. Let's do a Hungary 2017. It's not going to happen. But a look at Alonso. He's within half a second of Russell now. Russell's outside the DRS of Hamilton. Russell is 1.3 seconds behind. I think Alonso is going to get Russell here. He's 4 tenths. If he nails the last corner, if he stays within half a second, I think they'll go side by side into the first corner. He is indeed 5.5 tenths. So here we go. Is Alonso going to gain enough time down the main straight with DRS open to get onto Russell into the first corner? He's closing. He's closing. He holds station. He's going to try and now... He's going to try and nail out of this first corner and use the DRS into turn 4. He's a bit closer this time around. 4 tenths. 3 tenths. Has he got enough? No, not enough just yet. So it seems like to overtake at this track with the DRS, they need to be around... 3 tenths. 3 to 4 tenths behind. That's quite intriguing. Obviously, of course, if they nail the last corner. But George might have used a bit of battery there to help him stay ahead because he hasn't got the toe and the DRS of Hamilton in front. So George might be a bit more vulnerable next time around. Alonso might not have used any battery. There's that strategic element to it as well, guys, in the cockpit. So Norris and Tsunoda also out of the pits as well, trying to do the undercut. So you can see Gasly there has already got ahead of Norris by doing that pit stop and just having a lap of free air. And unless he had a particularly slow pit stop, but Gasly's been able to close up behind Tsunoda. Just waiting for TV to catch up. I wonder if Norris did have a slow pit stop. Matt's going to lap half the field soon. Yeah, he's 7.8 seconds ahead now. Oh, so it was a slower... Oh, so it was 5-second pit stop for Norris. Damn. Not good for McLaren, is it, guys? Not good for McLaren. Yeah, so this is now the strategy. Soft, hard, hard. So we're starting to see we said lap 12, Bottas into the pits, Albon into the pits. This is where things might get a little bit more interesting now, guys. De Vries also into the pits. This is what Magnussen wanted. This is what they played for. The hard tyre, they're expecting to go... Oh, let's have a look. How long did they say the hard tyres to go on for? They reckon the hard tyres got about 28 laps tops of life in it. So this is what Magnussen and the Haas were hoping for, because everyone ahead is going to pit and he's just going to keep going. George Russell saying tyres are gone. Tyres are gone. So he's only just about holding Fernando Alonso off. 4 tenths now Alonso is. Is he going to have an opportunity with this middle DRS? Down into turn 11. No, he's all over his gearbox though. So he is struggling, George. George is struggling. It wouldn't surprise me if we see him come into the pits now as well. But the problem is the gap. The gap's behind. Is he going to come into traffic? Bottas is sitting in a very difficult position there for the pit stop. Ooh. Midfield's going to be interesting, guys. Up front is a little bit done and dusted. Hate to say it. The guy is really... Yeah, Verstappen, you can't deny. Whatever you may think about the guy, he is really quick. So Hamilton is into the pits first. Hamilton into the pits first. And Alonso, is he able to get George into the first corner? He's all over the back of him. 1 tenth behind George Russell. This is done and dusted for Russell, isn't it? Down into turn 4. Surely he is a sitting duck. DRS open. They're side by side, as you can see by the interval and the track map. And Alonso is ahead. I don't think George has the tyres left to be able to hold it and defend it round turn 4. They're side by side. Oh, he does. I'll take it back. Oh, no, he doesn't. And Alonso gets it back. Oh, they were side by side for a long time. Fair play to George doing his job. But he's now in the middle of an Aston Martin sandwich. But yeah, some great racing there. Side by side action. Let's have a look at that on TV. So De Vries has jumped Zhou. Sargent is out on a set of softs. Another set of soft tyres for Sargent and the Williams of Albon as well. Interesting seeing all these different strategy elements coming into it, guys. Different strats. Just watching the Russell. Russell did the... Oh, Russell did hang it round the outside. Oh, wow. Great racing. Great racing. I didn't think George had enough tyres left there. But so Leclerc is into... Leclerc on a set of new soft tyres is pitting before... And Sainz, they're doing a double stack. Leclerc is in the pits before Verstappen. That Ferrari is not good on tyres. It's not good on tyres. George Russell also into the pits as well. I assume George Russell is going to come out behind Hamilton. So there's a little bit of chopping and changing of the order here. So Hülkenberg down in... Oh, no. Hülkenberg started 10th, guys. And he is down in 19th position. But Hamilton has been really able to close the gap up on Sainz there. Oh, wow. So pitting early has really done the Mercedes well. Because Hamilton is all over the back of Sainz. That gap was nowhere near as close as what it was before the pit stops. So did he have a bit of a slow pit stop? Let's have a look on the TV coverage. Or is it just the fact that Hamilton has been able to light those tyres up a lot quicker than... well, just be able to light those tyres up. George Russell's pit stop was a bit slow. Yeah, not a good pit stop. I think Piastri's out. Oh, they're trying to swap the steering wheel. Piastri's in the pits and trying to swap the steering wheel as Verstappen comes into the pits. I got a feeling Piastri might be out, and his first race is an incident involving Ocon that is under investigation by the stewards. I wonder what that is. Could Alonso come out ahead of Hamilton? Maybe. The thing is, he's on old hard. So here we go. Alonso in the pits. Is he going to come out ahead of Hamilton? No. So Alonso is actually he's gonna come out side by side with Magnussen. Oh, he's just got ahead of Russell. But you have to remember, Russell is going to be on a lap warmer hard tyres. So he might be able to get ahead of Alonso because he got ahead of Magnussen there, which was helpful for him. And Verstappen has come out, well, miles ahead of Leclerc. Verstappen has come out 10 seconds ahead of Charles Leclerc as Leclerc is being held up by Stroll. Wow. Absolutely crazy. So Russell all over the back of Alonso. I think Russell could get Alonso here because he's got those warmer tyres as Alonso has only just had them put on. So let's see if he can stick with him and do that. But great by Albon up there in P11. Magnussen now, though, is on a set of 14-lap hard tyres. He is hoping for a safety car, a virtual safety car, something to get a free pit stop. Hey, YT, this is F1 Live. Will Hamilton pass Sainz? Well, let's have a look at the lap times. So a 38.3 last time around for Hamilton. Sainz is actually on his first flying lap with these, on his first completed full lap with these set of tyres. I think Sainz has got enough in the bag to cope with Hamilton. We'll see. Rest in peace, Piastri. Damn it, guys. Not a good race for them so far. One car out, McLaren, and Lando Norris is down in 16th position with engine issues in itself. So George Russell with the fastest lap of the race, a 37.4. He's right behind him at the moment. He's 0.4 seconds behind Alonso. Is he able to get past him into turn 4? I don't think he has. He's half a second behind. And no, not close enough. As we said, really needs to be about 4 to 3 tenths behind to make use of that DRS and get a pass into the corner. So let's have a little rundown, guys, as everyone is making pit stops. Magnussen only taking the hard tyre, 15 laps. Haas have dropped the ball there. Haas have dropped the ball, I think. I can't understand lap time. Will Hamilton take podium? I don't think so. But Perez is still yet to pit. They're interestingly kept Perez out for a lot longer. Ocon is out. Ocon is out last. Is Ocon forced to pit for a penalty? Was he given a penalty of some sort? It's interesting that he's now come out of the back of the pack. Gasly has made his way up through the fields. That early pit stop by Gasly has done him wonders up into P12. He is under attack from a Williams of Logan Sargent on the soft tyre. So I expect the Williams actually they're pretty decent. Everyone expected them to be at the back of the field and be the weakest car after testing. But yeah, seems like he is actually, the Williams are doing okay. But they are on a varying strategy. They're on a varying strategy here compared to everyone else. Everyone's gone softs hards and they've gone softs. So, is the hards faster than the softs? No, the softs are still the fastest tyre. Oh, thanks, YT. Appreciate it, buddy. I do try and put my own spin on things. This isn't. I do try an alternative commentary in essence and try and relay the data to you guys, and yeah, give you guys. Keep you guys as up to date as possible, and having a little bit of back and forth as well. I really like it. 5 seconds penalty for Ocon. He was the wrong position on the grid. Really? No. I think Ham's pace is good for P5. I think they're trying to keep up Ferrari. Yeah, Ferrari definitely have the pace. So Let's get Perez finally into the pits. So Alonso got ahead of Bottas. Essential for Russell to get past Bottas to stay on the back of Alonso. Perez, where's he going to rejoin? Is he going to come out ahead of Leclerc? Is he going to come out ahead of Leclerc? Because this is Verstappen's race now. Verstappen's pretty much won this race, unless there's a reliability issue. So there we go. So I think they saw Perez's pace was good enough on the soft tyre to give him... Oh, wow. Okay, so they're going for a soft strategy. Interesting. That's intriguing. So is Russell able to get past Bottas? This is essential for him to get past Bottas, because if he doesn't, he is going to be quickly under attack by Lance Stroll, because Stroll is currently doing 37.5 last time around. Russell stuck behind Bottas, a 38.6. And he has got ahead of him. He has got ahead. So that was essential for him. But Lance Stroll setting a real quick lap time. So that is the first full lap on the tyres. That is the quickest lap they will set. I think George Russell set the fastest lap of the race on his second lap as well. But Lance Stroll did a quicker lap time than Max Verstappen last time around, guys. Aston Martin does have pace in it. But Max is probably already into management mode. McLaren is a tractor. Yeah, not great, is it? Not great. Norris onto the soft tyre at the back of the grid. Look at those two orange cars. It's hard being a McLaren fan, guys. It's hard. Lando have second thought about that 2-year contract. Yeah. Wasn't it like a 4-year contract? It wasn't quite Leclerc's contract where it was 5 years. It was definitely a long contract though. So let's keep an eye out on Perez. So Perez is on his first full lap on this brand new set of soft tyres. Well, used set of soft tyres, but obviously new in regards to this race. So he'll most likely set the fastest lap of the race. He's only 4 seconds behind Leclerc at the moment. But I'm intrigued to see at this battle at the back. So I say at the back, not at the back. For 6th place at the moment. So Russell is 1.7 seconds behind Alonso. Alonso seems to be gaining time on Hamilton at the moment. I mean, Hamilton did a 38.6 last time around. So he's dropping time to Sainz, who's 4 tenths quicker per lap. And then you have Alonso, who was 5 tenths quicker than Hamilton last time around. Half a second. That is a big chunk of time, guys. It does seem Russell is quicker than Hamilton at this race. Hamilton is struggling with the car, whether that be the setup and just the car in general. As we know, Mercedes not happy with it. Yeah, not looking good if you're a Mercedes fan. But Bottas, what a job by Bottas in the Alfa Romeo in 8th position. And Albon, look at Albon there. But he's on the soft tyres, Albon. So, what happened to the McLarens? So, Piastri had an electrical fault. The engine switched off. They tried to change the steering wheel, didn't fix it, so he is out of the race. Norris had an engine issue. He's still able to continue the race, but it really dropped him down the field, and that's why he is now just put on a set of soft tyres. So, not a great race for McLaren. Not a great race, guys. Red Bull unbeatable. First race of the year it is, yeah. Liverpool United today. I'm a West Ham fan, so I don't care. I think United are just in form, and I don't think Liverpool are... they're not great at the moment. They have little wins against the smaller teams, which are papering over the cracks, but generally, they're not. They'll come unstuck against United, I think. So Stroll has now got past Bottas. But interesting to see their lap times. So Russell and Stroll are lapping around the same time. And Stroll isn't physically fit, guys. Alonso is 3 tenths, 4 tenths a lap quicker than Hamilton. But you can quite clearly see that Leclerc is quicker than Sainz. Sainz is doing 38.2s. Perez, I mean... oh, sorry, I didn't even notice that Max is on the softs as well. He's on a used set of softs. So they're going with a brand new set of, because they've only got one set of hard tyres available. Verstappen, they don't have two set of new hards available, whereas Leclerc and Sainz do. The race isn't over yet. Perez with a 37.4, fastest lap of the race. So the race isn't over yet, because Verstappen is going to have to go onto a set of hard tyres a lot sooner than Leclerc and Sainz. If Leclerc and Sainz look after their tyres, I think, because that Ferrari is clearly going through their tyres quicker than the Red Bulls. Is there a chance of Ferrari still? I'm just trying to do the maths in my head. So Leclerc and Sainz are going to take those, theoretically, take those hard tyres longer into the race than Max will and Sergio, who are now on a set of softs. If the first stint was anything to go by, they pitted on what, lap 14, 15? So they're going to pit on lap 30. They're going to have to take the hard tyres. They're going to be taking the hard tyres onto the limit of what Pirelli say they can do, which is 28 laps. But we do know that the Red Bull is probably the best car on tyres, whereas the Ferrari isn't. So there's a bit of an offset there. So Ferrari should be theoretically quicker at the end, at the later stages of this race than Red Bull will, because Red Bull will be on much older hard tyres compared to Leclerc and Ferrari, who are quicker on a newer set of hards. I'm trying to GM myself up, guys, and try and think of a logical way that Ferrari may still be in with a chance of this race. Who has the fastest lap? Perez at the moment. You can see there with the purple. And he's just done another fastest lap, improving by 2/10 of 37.2. So now Hamilton, maybe Hamilton's been told to get a bit of a move on, because he did a 38.4 last time. Well, 38.4 last time around. Let's see what he does this time. A 38.5. What about Alonso? Alonso has done a 38.4. So Alonso is still averaging a much quicker lap time per lap than what Hamilton is. And Stroll is the quickest out of those four cars at the moment, a 38.2 this time around. He is he's still got 2 laps fresher tyres than those 3 ahead of him. But this is an intriguing fight forming between Aston Martin and Mercedes. Who would have thought we'd be saying that before this season, guys? Red Bulls have the speed for the Alt Strat. Yeah. Well, the thing is that they only have a brand new set of medium, unless they're going to go to the medium tyre, but I don't think the medium's not a very good race tyre. Correction on Ocon, he went too far forward in the start box, got a penalty and then didn't serve the penalty. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's not very good from them, is it? Because look at Gasly now. Gasly's like miles ahead of Ocon. The undercut did work for him, but let's have a look at Gasly. So Gasly is back. That Alpine just doesn't have the pace to get through the field. It just gets stuck. Look at him. He did a 39.3 last time around compared to Tsunoda, who did a 39.3 as well. He just can't. In the pack, the Alpine hasn't got the pace to get past. It's just stuck in a DRS train at the moment. Is Norris trying to overtake Ocon? He will be, yeah, because he's on a set of soft tyres. So he needs to get ahead of Ocon to try and make up as much ground as possible on this set of tyres. If he gets stuck behind Ocon on the hards, then he's just going to lose so much time. But Perez getting quicker on those set of soft tyres as the fuel load starts to get lighter. He is closing up the gap on Leclerc, only 2 seconds behind now. Leclerc 11 seconds behind Verstappen. Of course, Verstappen trying to increase that gap on a set of soft tyres compared to his hards. But then again, alternate strategies. Leclerc thinking about maybe just looking after these hard tyres to take him that little bit longer. Why is the tractor catching up? Because the tractor has put on slicks and it hasn't got the big dirt tyres anymore. Trying to think of what tyres tractors have. I have a conundrum. I want Aston Martin to do well, but I also want Russell to beat Alonso. Well, I think if Stroll and Alonso finish 6th and 7th, or 7th and 8th, that are like the best outside the top 3 teams, and they're quite clearly ahead of the Alpines, who are touted as really being the best of the rest. That is a massive massive bonus for him at the start of this season. But not looking good for the Haas's, is it? It's all falling apart as Norris gets past Ocon into turn 4. Now he needs to get his foot down. Can Norris recover something from this race? We are only, not even halfway through this race yet, guys. We're nearly halfway through this race. And the thing is that plenty of things can happen. A car could still go poof and force a safety car. Who knows, guys? Who knows? Good performance by De Vries. Well, he started 19th and he's currently up 5 places into P14. So far, so good. Thing is, this isn't going to be how everything is at the moment in regards to position on track is not over by any means, because we're going to see obviously different strategies come into play with obviously Norris on a set of softs, both Williams, obviously the Red Bulls as well. But you can see there, Russell dropping back from Alonso. Has he been told to... I think Russell's definitely made a mistake last time around, surely. 38.7. But Alonso getting the move on. Clearly, a 37.8 last time around from Alonso on the set of hards. That's quicker than Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc of the Ferraris. So chasing down Hamilton. How's Hamilton getting on? So Hamilton done a 38.3. Seems like to have found a little bit of pace. But, well, actually, I say a little bit of pace. He's been managing his time quite consistently. And I feel like he's actually closed the gap up to Sainz a little bit. He's now under 4 seconds to Sainz. That definitely looks like a bit of a gap has closed. Or the gap has closed. Alonso, though, is half a second quicker than Hamilton at the moment on the last couple of laps. Alonso saying Mercedes feel good. They have more deg than we do, so let's see what can happen. But last time around, Sainz a 38.5, same as Leclerc, and Hamilton a 38.2, or 38.3 technically. Alonso a 38.1. Alonso and Stroll have definitely got the pace on the Mercedes. But Ferrari, are they managing, or are they just struggling with deg? Gasly into the pits again. So Perez has got past Leclerc as we expected on that set of soft tyres. So an easy overtake. I appreciate Crofty trying to make that a little bit more excited than it actually was, but Perez is on a set of soft tyres compared to Leclerc on hards. It was always going to be an easy overtake. So Gasly now down into, where's he come out at? So he's come out into clean air again. But Gasly now on a set of hard tyres. This is him surely to the end of the race. So he is going to try and take this set of tyres. 20... Is that 30 laps? How's my maths, guys? That is 30 laps, isn't it? He's going to... Yeah, he's going to try and take that 30 laps. So that's 2 laps over what Pirelli stated was going to be the limit of their tyres. I think now that Aston is up on Mercedes for best of the rest, we'll be seeing less surprise podiums and wins from the midfield as now 8 of the top 10 positions are taken up. Yeah, I think so. Guys, I mean, the Alpines are clearly not anywhere near the front 4. I mean, there was rumours that Gasly, or there was rumours that the Alpines were quietly confident in testing, even though they were like, hang on. So Lewis is in tyre management mode, just confirmed from Bono, his engineer. He asked, do I need to pick up the pace? And they said, we're happy with what you're doing at the moment. So Hamilton is purposely doing 38 threes consistently at the moment to manage his tyres and take them to the end. They do have a brand new set of hards to put on after this. And as we see Albon and Tsunoda come into the pits, Hulkenberg as well. So we're starting to see the second round of pit stops as Albon... Is that Albon just out ahead of Gasly? That is very tight. There's 3 cars very close there. Gasly has just got ahead of Tsunoda as they came out of the pits. That's essential for Gasly. I think Tsunoda's coming back at him. It seems like Gasly's been able to hold on to that position. Of course, having an extra lap on those tyres really does help with the temperature and that little bit of extra grip. But Albon sneaking out just ahead of Gasly there. So we're starting to see the guys really going to take these hard tyres to the limit in regards to making them last to the end of the race. So who else? Anyone else coming into the pits? Not at the moment, but there's quite a big field spread now with people taking an early a difference in strategy, to be fair, with their pit stops coming in a lot earlier. Finn Alpine's the biggest letdown so far. Yes, there was big hype in their progression. As I was saying before, I obviously went a bit off piste with Hamilton's message over the radio. People were quite... Apparently there was rumours in the garage that, or down the paddock, sorry, that Alpine were quietly confident with their car and their progress. But clearly it was all gumph because they haven't done very well at all. And Gasly has been stuck trying to get past cars you'd expect the Alpine to be able to breeze by. So, who am I a supporter of, Ryan? So, I'm English, I'm British, as you can probably tell from my accent. So, I'm a fan of the British drivers, first and foremost. Lewis, George Russell, Lando Norris, Alex Albon, even though he flies under the tyre flag. And I've always been a fan of McLaren as well. And I do support Mercedes because of like Lewis-Hamilton connection. Yes, please. Yes, please. Thank you. So yeah, they're the guys who I support. I have soft spots for other drivers as well. Sainz and Leclerc, Perez. So yeah, there's other drivers who I do like up and down the grid. I don't support anyone exclusively. There's guys who I'd prefer to do better than others. There's some that I'm not necessarily the biggest fans of, but I just want to see good racing and I want to see a title fight. That's what I want to see to keep me intrigued throughout the year. Because I'm a racer, as you can tell, with my pretend sim racing rig. Well, it is a real sim racing rig, but like I pretend to be a racing driver online. So I get a buzz from seeing these guys go wheel to wheel, and that's what I want to see. Ocon is really getting fucked by the FIA. Has he got another penalty, is he? Speeding in the pit lane. Well, it's not fucked by the FIA, is it? It's him. I mean, I don't understand how you speed in the pit lane. You've got a pit box limiter, a button that you specifically press that limits your speed in the pit box. Slow down enough before you get into the pit lane. It's not difficult. Verstappen on the radio. My left front is giving up a little bit. Even though I'm a fan of Lewis, I hate Verstappen. I don't hate Verstappen. I'm not his biggest fan. I openly admit that. All Red Bull fans are welcome in here, though. I appreciate how good of a bloody driver he is, though. Like, he is so quick. So I'm just not a fan of how he goes wheel to wheel with Lewis. I don't like that style of driving from anyone. Don't care who you are. Keep it within the track limits, and it never really has been kept within the track limits when they've come together. But yeah, Hulkenberg, wow. So Norris has gone on to mediums. Well, he's a third stop, isn't it? It's his third stop, so he has to do something a bit different. Locked up into entry pit lane. Still, though, still. Yeah, Hulkenberg with a fastest lap. Not too bad. I wonder if they've put a new front wing on his car. Bottas in the pits. So let's have a look. Let's have a rundown of some times, guys. Let's see how they've been doing recently. So Alonso has been sitting pretty behind Hamilton around the 2-second mark for some time. That's probably around the sweet spot where they don't receive any dirty air from the car in front. Of course, this is tyre management stage of the race. We're halfway through the race now, over halfway through. And these guys are going to try and want to make those hard tyres last for kind of as long as they can so that they get onto a fresher, well, a new set of hard tyres, which they all have available. And fresher rubber means quicker lap times at the end, where they're able to go a lot quicker than at the start with a lighter fuel load. So, Magnussen out on a set of soft tyres. What? So he's gone hard, soft, soft. But he's not going to get those softs to the end. Some of these pit stops are a bit strange. But we still got Zhou to pit, Sargent to pit, Stroll, obviously, Alonso, Russell. All the guys from 9th position, from 10th upwards, have still got to pit. And as we say that, Hamilton is in the pits. Right on cue, guys. Right on cue. He did get a new wing fitted. Yeah, there we go. Makes sense. And Stroll in the pits as well. Reacting probably to Hamilton coming into the pits. Wait, if Verstappen loses the championship because of the curse, who will win the championship? Leclerc, Perez, Alonso, Hamilton? I don't know. I don't know. So Hamilton surely out on the new set of hard tyres. Yes, he is indeed. Where is Stroll going to come out? Logan Sargent's in the pits as well. Thank you. What service? Yeah, probably. Alonso trying to take the overcut, or... Yeah, so threat from an undercut, so they've brought him into the pits, and I think Alonso is going to put his foot down now. Come on, wouldn't it be great to see Alonso and Hamilton go at it? If we're not going to get it out up front with the Red Bulls and with the Ferraris, give us Hamilton versus Alonso at least, guys. Come on. Because I won't lie, so far the race has been a bit drab. It's been a bit boring, isn't it? Let's be honest, guys. Not a lot has really truly happened. Verstappen has gone into the distance and just carried on like he has last year. I think we need to... Come on, this give us a safety car. Norris, you're out of the race. Can your car just go pop, please, and just park it in the middle of the road so we can have a safety car? I'm not normally an advocate for safety cars to be used for entertainment purposes, but it's the first race of the season. Come on. The FIA have got they're doing tic-tac-toe at the moment. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, in regards to which button they press for the engine to go pop. Could Sargent get points? I think so. I think he could, yeah. I mean, Albon and Williams seem to... I think they've been the real surprise, I think, of this race. Everyone ruled them out. Albon was a bit unfortunate that... Well, he was unfortunate, not a bit. He was very unfortunate that he wasn't able to take that car to have an opportunity of going into Q3. Because I think he did have an opportunity to do that. But he wasn't able to complete a single lap due to some technical issues. But there's a bit of a pack forming there, though, Albon and Gasly, isn't it? That looks quite close and quite interesting. And a little bit of a DRS train, and Albon quite comfortably being able to keep Gasly behind for about the last 5 laps, I think it is. Well, since he's come out of the pit lane, so yeah, 5 laps. So Lance Stroll has got ahead of Russell, so they've done the undercut. They've done the undercut with Lance Stroll. Yeah. Just a standard DRS pass down into turn 4. He breezes. Oh my God, the Aston Martin breezed past George Russell in the Mercedes. Wow. Wow. So, Alonso last time around did a 37.8. So, Alonso, where he was managing that tyre, is now on the move. He is getting his foot down. So, where is Hamilton? He did a 37.5 last time around. A 36.5 from Stroll last time around. A little bit of help with DRS, obviously overtaking Russell into turn 4. So there is a true fight on here for Aston Martin against Mercedes. This is not the fight I thought I'd be thinking we'd be focusing on. I said definitely open to overcut with a safety car. Maybe. Had a battle between, where we just saw that on TV. So they just did it. That's why they pitted Stroll early. Alonso now getting his foot down. I assume they're probably going to bring Alonso in now. Surely they're going to bring Alonso in now. So let's look at gaps. Verstappen, how long is the pit stop at Bahrain? Is it around 25 seconds? And Leclerc... Sorry, guys. I'm a bit speechless. Why has Leclerc come into the pits sooner than Verstappen and Perez on a set of soft tyres? You can hear the commentary. George, can you just turn the volume down a touch? Oh no, apparently they can pick it up. How about now, guys? Is that okay? That Ferrari must be killing its tyres. I don't think it's strategy. I don't think it's strategy. I think Ferrari is just... The car is killing its tyres. Like it did last year. They just haven't made any improvement. I really hope I'm wrong there, but I am taking that as... They just don't... The tyres are just falling off too quickly. And the Red Bull, as we know, has just picked up from last year, improved, and was absolutely mega on its tyres. Which is why they're able to take the softs so long. But yeah, let's have a look. Here is the key moment here. So has Alonso done enough to overcut Hamilton as he comes round the last corner? Are we going to get side-by-side action between Alonso and Hamilton? Here we go. As he comes down the main straight, Hamilton, where is Alonso? No, so Alonso hasn't done enough. He's close. He's about... Where is Alonso? He's 1.4 seconds, so he has improved. His time has improved, or the gap has improved slightly. He took about half a second out of him, so now we will see. Ooh. Is the FIA trying to kill Ocon? Did he have 15-second time penalty now, did he? What was that for? He was just off for an hour. What did you miss? Not a lot. I'm honest. I wish I could say that there was more that happened, but not a lot has happened. Not to keep pressure on fresher tyres. Yeah, well, it's game on now, isn't it, to the end? It is game on. But has everyone made a pit stop now? So, apart from Verstappen, who is... So, it's only a 15-second pit stop loss, is it? Okay, so that's not a lot at all, is it? Ocon can have a heart attack the next time his engineer comes on the race. You just wouldn't even tell him, would you? Because it's just going to get added on to time at the end of the race. And he's in 19th position. This has been a shocker for everyone, really, in Alpine. But Gasly is he's one place outside the points. He overtakes Albon and he will be in the points. So Verstappen is really the only one left to pit now. Let's see. I mean, Verstappen's going to come out ahead of the lead, so it's not really relevant whatsoever. But that little gaggle of Albon, Gasly and Tsunoda they've been separated by like a second for the last 9-10 laps. It's a great little battle there, but not great for Alpine because they just can't get ahead of the Williams. It's 5 seconds for the start for Ocon, 10 seconds for incorrect serving a penalty. Oh my God. So Verstappen now in the pit lane. Easily going to come out ahead. No. Luna, stop it. Let's see. So Alonso is now half a second behind Hamilton. He's going to have him next lap, isn't he? Stay close and then... Let's see. Oh, interesting. So Anthony Davison just saying that Alonso asked, why didn't we stay out? And the team haven't responded to him. So here we go. As they come down the main straight, Alonso is 6 tenths behind. But what's interesting here, guys, is Hamilton's actually catching Sainz. He was over a second quicker than Sainz last time. Is Sainz having an issue here? But Alonso's all over the back of Hamilton. Alonso could get 4th place here. Alonso, oh, this side. No, he's not got enough. He has. Sorry, there was a bit of a delay there in regards to the track map. He is ahead of Hamilton. And Hamilton has maintained the position. Some side-by-side action between Hamilton and Alonso. Go on. It's 2008 all over again. Or 2007, sorry. It's 2007 all over again. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But Sainz got an issue. Because Hamilton and Alonso are catching. Alonso's all over the back of Hamilton here. Is he going to try and slide it up the inside? No. So here we go. I'm just watching it back on TV. Let's have a look at this. We've got a bit of time before they get to the start-finish straight again. So Hamilton did the cutback. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, that was great to see. Love it. Love a little cutback. So here we go. Round 2. Round 2. Here comes Hamilton and Alonso down the main straight. Alonso 7 tenths behind now. Using this main straight DRS to just close up the gap and then have another go into turn 4. So Sainz picking up the pace this time around. But of course, Hamilton and Alonso did go side by side. But yeah, Sainz definitely had an issue last lap. So let's see. Are we doing it again? I don't think Alonso is close enough. No, he's not. He's not close enough. But this is great. If it's boring up front, at least we've got this. We've got Alonso versus Hamilton. I've got such a smile on my face, guys. And we've also got Russell closing up on Stroll. So we could have Russell versus Stroll. So, Alonso has got ahead of Hamilton. down into turn 10. Did Hamilton have a little lock up there? That's a little bit of an unusual place to see an overtake. We'll have to wait for the TV coverage to catch up for that. But wow, that is a bit of an unusual place to send it up the inside. Unless Alonso really was up behind Hamilton out of turn 8. That'll be interesting to see. But Hamilton isn't going to let this up. Come on, Hamilton. Get feisty. Stay with him and give us some drama. Give us some racing in the end of this race. Well, we've still got 17 laps, actually. Oh, yeah. Alonso was all over the back of Hamilton. All over the back of him. Just had... Oh, what an overtake. What an overtake by Alonso. Oh. Here we go. So, back to the track map, and Hamilton is 3 tenths behind. Is he going to have a go at Alonso as they go into turn 4? I think he is. I think he is here. I think he's all over the back of him. Or he's a 10th behind. He's a 10th behind. He didn't quite have enough to overtake Alonso down into turn 4, but that was mega by Alonso down into turn 10. What an overtake. Yes, let's go. Alonso comes over the radio and says, oh, brilliant. This is great. Guys, we are 6 likes away from 100 likes. If you could please smash that like button, it'd be much appreciated. And yeah, if you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. We'll be back here for every single race weekend to do as many practice sessions as I can, and the qualifying and the races. I love doing these, and yeah, if you can do, it'd be much appreciated. So here goes Hamilton. Is he going to stay within the DRS, guys? Where is he? He is 7 tenths behind. So you need to use this main DRS straight to close up the gap. So I'll tell you what, the way they're both going, they're going to catch Carlos Sainz here. So here goes Hamilton, closing up the gap, half a second behind him. Needs good traction out of turn 1. I don't think he's close enough. He needs to be sub half a second to really have an opportunity to get at Alonso with this DRS into turn 4. So maybe Hamilton, I mean, Hamilton will want to get that position back, but maybe Hamilton will be thinking, I'll just tow along with Alonso at the moment, and we'll use him to catch up to Carlos Sainz, who is in P4. Might be a little bit of a strategy. But Russell, 1 point, is dropping back a little bit from Stroll, it seems. So, striking distance 2 laps aside. Yeah, I just heard that. Hey, Mania, how's it going, buddy? Norris came into Lewis's way, did he? Yeah, at the back of the grid. Hulkenberg down in 17th position. Magnussen in 16th. Not been a good day for the Haas's. Zhou in 15th position. De Vries doing a good job in 14th, as well as Sargent in 13th. Tsunoda and Gasly and Albon are still in that 3-car train. Albon has been holding them off for 13 laps now. Is he going to be able to do it at the end to the end of the race? And we have a yellow flag. Who's slow? Leclerc stopped. Leclerc has stopped. Leclerc has stopped. This is our safety car. This is our safety car. Leclerc. No. 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 Ferrari, man. No, what has happened? This is and it's a virtual safety car. This has got to be a full safety car. Come on. Bring out the full safety car. Make this race interesting, guys. Thank you for all of those subs, guys. Much appreciated. Jimmy. They're just watching it. Kyle, Matty, Mednash, thank you for the subs, guys. And anyone else who has sub that hasn't shown up as an alert. But we have breaking drama here as Albon, Gasly and Tsunoda in that 3-car chain are making use of a free pit stop to get onto some fresh rubber. As we know, with the virtual safety car, you get a much quicker pit stop because you're able to go full speed as soon as you exit the pit lane. So, oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. So I don't think this is actually going to be a full safety car. He has managed to pull this off into a safe position where they're able to wheel the car back. But, oh, so not going to give us a drama that we wanted. Just watching it back now, I think his engine just goes, or the electrics just go pop. The electrics are just gone, pretty much. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well. I think this is just going to be a virtual safety. Yeah, and there we go. We are racing again. Track clear. Bit of a shame Leclerc was able to pull that over. I was hoping for a full safety car. But, man, Leclerc, for fuck's sake. This is not good for the championship, is it? Ferrari not picking up. Oh, my God. Fuck's sake. Oh, it's tough being a Ferrari fan. If you're a Ferrari fan, I mean, I'm just a fan of Leclerc. It's tough being a Leclerc fan. I know, Fabio. That's what I was hoping for. Okay, let's catch our breath. We still have 15 laps remaining. Let's have a let's see where we are. Let's see where we want to focus out on track. So really, the interesting part here is still Albon and Gasly really for 9th and 10th position. Tsunoda lost out to Zhou, who is on 9 set lap of softs, and De Vries in 11th. I mean, I imagine he'll be given the wave through De Vries to allow Tsunoda through because he's on hard tyres. But Hamilton, Sainz, Sainz, Alonso, Hamilton, guys, this is really where it's at. This is where this is at. I think Hamilton lost a bit of time, to be fair, from the safety car restart. Maybe a little bit slack in regards to the Delta. But we could see a three-way fight here for P3 for the podium because Leclerc's out. So because Leclerc's out, they are now racing for the podium. Go on. L plan coming into play. So Alonso could get a podium in his first race in Aston Martin. I think there'd be more celebrations for Alonso getting a podium than there would be for Verstappen getting the win. Sainz losing 1/10 per lap. Well, we'll see. We'll see. This is now the first full lap after the virtual safety car. So we'll see what lap time Sainz does relative to Alonso and Hamilton behind. But Alonso is going for it. He's really late on the brakes. He's really closing down the gap. He is super confident through turn 8 and through turn 10. If anyone is not got access to actual live TV coverage, Alonso is so good on the brakes through the downhill section into turn 8 and into turn 10. But he's now in the DRS. He's under a second behind, or he's just within a second of Carlos Sainz. Hamilton seems to be losing a bit of ground. Top 5 isn't a bad result for Mercedes, but still. Aaron, thank you for the sub, buddy. Much appreciated. As well as you, Ravi. Yeah, and anyone else who has subscribed. Much appreciated. If you can hit that like button as well. I think we're over 100 likes now. Really appreciate it. Big thank you to you all. Yeah, we are over 100 likes, but keep hitting the like button. Keep hitting it. Smash it. Oh, I don't know why I said smash it, because that's a typical YouTube thing to do, isn't it? It's cheesy. Sorry, guys. I apologise. Click. Click. Sounds a bit more sophisticated. But yes, as we see, Alonso is all over the back of Sainz now. 7 attempts, definitely within the DRS. He's not going to be able to go at Sainz now, but so 36.9. Alonso's into the 36s now. Even Hamilton is quicker than Carlos Sainz at the moment. Only a tenth. So Ferrari I don't think Ferrari they just don't have good deg. They're just shredding their tyres. How to get live TV coverage for Sri Lanka. Can Alonso be on the podium? Yeah, definitely. I think this is Alonso's. There's 13 laps remaining. He's going to get him this lap. He's half a second behind Sainz. He might not get him here, but he'll definitely get him down into turn 1 or next lap. I mean, 3 tenths behind now. And Gasly has got ahead of Albon, sorry. I've just noticed Gasly's got ahead of Albon. So Albon's still in the points. Go on, Albon. But Gasly, what a drive. From P20 last on the grid to P9 at the moment. I think that's got to be one of the drives of the day. Alpine doing a masterstroke there, pitting him early out of that train when he couldn't get out of pretty much 18th, 19th position. But here we go. Alonso, he's got him here, surely. 6 tenths. The thing is, you don't want to overtake down into T1 because then you're just going to get overtaken down into T4. But he's 3 tenths behind. Even Hamilton did a 37.0 last lap, 3 tenths quicker than Sainz. Here he goes. Alonso, 2 tenths. Is he going to send it into T4? Has he got enough? I don't think he has. I don't think he's overtaken Sainz here. I think Sainz has just been able to stay ahead of Alonso. He didn't have a lot. Carlos Sainz saying he hasn't got enough grip on the radio. Is Alonso going to send it down into T8 or into T10? Is he going to do what he did to Hamilton? He's all over him. I think they're side by side. No, a tenth behind. Does he send it on the inside? No. No, he doesn't. But he's got a great opportunity with this DRS down in the middle straight to overtake him into turn 11. Does he sling it up the inside? Oh, it's showing Alonso's ahead. It is showing. They're side by side as they go round the fast turn 11. And he has done the job on Sainz in the middle sector. Alonso is in a podium position. And Sainz is now under attack from Hamilton. Alonso nearly went into the back of Sainz as well. But we could see a comeback here. Is Sainz going to come straight back at Alonso? With the DRS, I don't think he is. No, he's already a second behind Alonso. But Hamilton, oh, what an end to this race we're getting here for the podium. The Red Bulls are miles ahead. Oh, just watching the overtake again on the screen. A great move from Alonso up the inside. And here we go. Hamilton not able to close up the gap on Sainz, it seems. And this could be the fight. I think Alonso's got enough in his tyres to get him to the end. But what a man Alonso is. First time of real fun in 2012 when Alonso drove his heart out. Yeah. Bottas is having a great race as well. That's another great drive from Bottas. In P8, going to pick up some points. That's a great drive from him as Sargent overtakes Zhou. This is a good showing by Sargent as well on his debut. Oh, and Zhou gets it back. A little bit of a back and forth from Zhou and Sargent there. I wonder if Zhou has got DRS as well as they go up into turn 4. I think he did. And Ocon is retiring. Ocon is retiring. They're saving the engine. They're saving the battery. He's got a 15-second time penalty to go be added at the end of the race. So, makes sense. As they come round the last corner, again, I think Hamilton is 6.5 tenths behind Sainz here. Oh, yeah. So, Alonso actually made contact with Sainz as they went into turn 4. But Hamilton is 2 tenths behind Sainz now. Little bit of loss of traction as they come out of turn 1, as you saw 2 tenths disappear in the interval between them both. I think that might have not allowed Hamilton to get past Sainz. He's definitely up behind him, that's for sure. And no, so a little bit of loss of traction out of turn 1 just cost Hamilton there 2 tenths and the opportunity to get Sainz into turn 4. And this is just all the while allowing Fernando to get away from them and help him secure a P3 with 10 laps remaining. Where am I looking at? So sometimes when you subscribe, if you've got your subscribers set to private on YouTube, it won't send an alert. Unlike it is on like Twitch, as an example, where every follow comes up as an alert. So it's only if you have your subscribers set to open, public, so anyone can see who you're subscribed to, that you'll get a note. I will receive a notification. So it's just how YouTube works. But if you have subscribed, really appreciate it. And to everyone else who has as well, and it doesn't show up as an alert, much appreciated. This is the first race of the season, first watch along of the season, and I'm going to try and make all 23 if I can. So yeah, well, we'll see. I'm going to try and make as many sessions as I can. Of course, 23 races throughout the year is a tall order. But yeah, I love doing these for you guys. I love having the back and forth, and I hope you guys do too as well. And of course, I do my own pretend racing, sim racing on iRacing, predominantly the F1 car as well, doing our full-length races, league races as well. So, and I'm not too bad. I don't say so for myself. So yeah, bring different types of content to you. It's not just F1 watch-alongs. Red Bull disaster class for Orlando. Yeah. But Sainz really under attack from Hamilton now. So all the while I was doing that, Hamilton wasn't able to overtake Sainz as they went into the DRS at turn 4. But let's see if Hamilton can get him here. The Mercedes just doesn't have the top speed of the Ferrari to get past. And oh, Hamilton dropped back a touch there. But let's see if Hamilton can. He needs to be under half a second. He needs to be around 3 tenths out of turn 1 to get an opportunity to go up, send it on Sainz into turn 4. T1 isn't where he wants to do it. It's all about the traction out of T1. So let's see if he can do it this time around. Keep an eye on the interval here, guys. So 7 tenths. He needs to get it down to. Oh, he's just lost a bit of time out of the last sector. He's clearly struggling with a bit of traction, it seems, Hamilton. But if he's 4 to 3 tenths, he might have an opportunity here, guys. The only race you don't want Max to win. Because of the Bahrain curse, yeah? So he's 6 tenths now. So Hamilton isn't going to have an opportunity here. Unless Sainz goes severely wide at turn 4. But it's not a hard braking zone, really. So you can see he gained 3 tenths there as he went into turn 4. Do you think that Aston is better Mercedes engine car, or is it just Alonso doing his magic? I think it's just... So if you look at the data analysis, or there's data analysis channels, or Twitter pages, etc., they break down the data in very English terms. For us normals to read. And they were saying that Aston Martin has the best downforce package of everyone on the grid, even better than the Red Bull. So, of course, they have the help in the Mercedes engine, which isn't no slouch. So, yeah, it's... Oh, hang on. So, apparently, Charles Leclerc's car, his failure was due to them losing the engine, not an electrical issue, which is interesting. But not good for Ferrari already, especially for Charles Leclerc, because they already swapped the battery over. So, Dieter, thank you for the sub, buddy. And anyone else who has subbed, much appreciated. If you can hit the like button, much appreciated. And if you can subscribe as well. We are fast approaching 10k subscribers. So, there are over 500 of you here now. If every single one of you hit that subscribe button, I could get over 10k, which is a massive milestone for the channel. And I might even do a giveaway when I get to 10k as well. So, yeah, please do. It'd be much appreciated. Is Stroll ahead of the Merc? Aston is faster. Yes, the Aston is faster at Bahrain than the Mercedes today. I think that's been quite evident. I mean, look at Alonso. The gap that he's built on Sainz already. Wow. He's doing mid-36s compared to Sainz and Hamilton, who are doing high 37s. He's a second a lap quicker. And he's... Stroll, who isn't at peak physical fitness, is racing with a busted wrist, and apparently it's been announced last night that he's also got a broken toe from him from his cycling accident as well, which I don't think anyone knew. He's in 6th place. So a great job from Stroll as well. Considering he couldn't really even lift himself out of the car the other day. He had to be helped out of the car, which is quite worrying to see, actually. But, okay, let's take pause. And let's have a little run down the grid. At the moment, Hamilton on signs is as close as it's going to get. So Verstappen and Perez out in front. A very easy 1-2 from them. Coasting it through. Alonso, P3. My man. Carlos Sainz and Hamilton, 4th and 5th. Stroll in 6th. Russell 7th. Bottas doing a great job in the Alpha in 8th at the moment. Gasly up from 20th position. 11 places gained in 9th at the moment. I think that's driver of the day for me. Because considering how bad his qualifying was yesterday. Albon, another great drive in P10. Tsunoda, P11. Sargent on his debut in 12th. Great for him. Zhou, 13th. De Vries, 14th. Magnussen, and 16th. And Hulkenberg, 15th and 16th for the Haas's. As Hamilton isn't able to close up the gap on Sainz into T4. And I think Stroll is closing that gap as well. Let's keep an eye out on him. A 37.3 from Stroll last time around compared to Hamilton's 37.7. And then we have Norris languishing at the back. Just trying to bring the car home because Piastri has retired due to an electrical fault. Ocon, who got about a year's worth of penalties from the FIA, retired. And of course, Leclerc, we know, had the engine issue. So yeah, thank you for all the subs, guys. Viking, Scott, Cypher, thank you guys. And anyone else who was subbed as well, much appreciated. Ferrari tanked the first race to win the chip here. Getting more and more happy that both Mick and Danny left their teams and moved to Merck and Red Bull respectively. Yeah, I mean, specifically Mick Schumacher, I was not impressed with the way Haas and Gunther Steiner handled Mick Schumacher. I thought it was, I just didn't like it whatsoever. And I'm glad Mick Schumacher's got out of that system, and hopefully he gets a future opportunity with another team and is able to just basically stick 2 fingers up at Gunther Steiner and the Haas team, because everyone within there just didn't support him, didn't like him, and I don't know how you can perform under that kind of atmosphere and for that sort of employer. I think most of us have all worked for a company or worked under a manager who is very kind of belittling and not very supportive, and we know how difficult that is, let alone at like professional sports. So the Ocon joke here. Well, he has. He's had an absolute shocker. He retired out of shame. Yeah. Show you what telemetry is. Yeah, so the telemetry, guys, just so you know, so this is F1 Live. This is great. So if you go to telemetry, I can click onto anyone's telemetry and it will show me exactly their throttle inputs, their sector times. This is a great service. And then what we have here are their sectors. So yellow means that they're slower than their fastest lap. And then green will mean that they've improved on their fastest lap. But, green will mean they've improved on their previous lap. And purple will mean, of course, fastest lap of the race. No, sorry. Green will mean they improved on their best lap. Purple will mean fastest lap. So, yeah, you get to see their inputs. You can also compare drivers, I believe, as well. So if I was to pick Sainz and Hamilton, we were able to see who is quickest in the sectors of the race on the previous lap, and we get their throttle inputs as well. Real good system. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love this, guys, because it gives us all of this information. So we can see there, obviously, when they're braking. But at the moment, I mean, Lewis is definitely quicker because he's got the DRS in the first sector. Let's see if Sainz, I assume Sainz is quicker through this middle sector because he's got the clean air and he hasn't got anyone in front of him. Hamilton, even though we've got the ground effect era and these cars are less affected by, of course, the dirty air, it does mean that they are still affected. So he's going to be a loss of grip. And of course, we know Hamilton is struggling with grip in that car anyway. I mean, you can see he's starting to drop back now. We have 3 laps remaining, and they've been on those tyres for over 20 laps. And yeah, the Mercedes still not great on tyres, but neither is the Ferrari. But Alonso, man, Alonso up in P3 with 8-second lead from Sainz. Wow, absolutely wow. Please show Hamilton. I'll show it in a second, guys. What is this, battle mode? Yeah, kind of. Pretty much it's battle mode. So you can have head-to-heads as well. Select a driver from the leaderboard, so Sainz and Hamilton. And it just kind of gives you all these different elements of data in a nice, clean and readable way. And then you can go to telemetry as well and see their telemetry. That's probably the closest fight on the grid at the moment, although Tsunoda is picking up on Albon. So I am going to close this, guys, as we come into the last few laps here. We've got 2 laps remaining. Oh, a 5-second time penalty for car 27. Who is car 27, guys? Is that Nico Hulkenberg? I know he was on a black and white flag. Who's car 27? I don't know who that is. That just come up. This stream is much more calm. Oh, thanks, Meow. Yeah, I try and put my own spin on things with watch-alongs. Everyone has their own personality and their own way of doing things. But this is how we did it last year. And yeah, first race of the year. Really looking forward to more races. 23 we've still got 22 left. But yeah, Albon and Tsunoda, so they're fighting for that points position there, guys. I think this is really where the closest is now. Hamilton's dropped off the back of Sainz. Still a great result for Hamilton in P5, considering they expected Alonso to be quicker. But Alonso on the second hard tyre has been absolutely amazing. Just a man-possessed, an absolute man-possessed. How did Alonso get to number 3 from number 7? Well, he's been, yeah, as we just said, a man possessed. He's just been quicker. He's been quicker than the Mercedes. He's been quicker than Ferrari, who once again, similar to last year, have just been shredding their tyres throughout the race. And Leclerc's engine went pop, pretty much. So he has got there on merit. Definitely so. If Leclerc was still going, I don't think he would have caught Leclerc. Leclerc was too far ahead. But he's definitely been quicker than Sainz. That's for sure. So can Tsunoda get that last point? He is on the back of Albon right now. Let's see. Eight temps remaining. 8 temps. So is he going to be able to close up into T1? I mean, this is a very important year for Tsunoda. If he doesn't have a good year this year, then I think he's out of... If he gets beat by Debris, put it this way, over the course of the season, I think he's out of that seat. I think he is. Aston might just get better every year. Yeah, they might do. They might do. Zhou into the pits. 22 laps on the softs he's done. So it's great result for Stroll so far. So we're on a second last lap at the moment. Alonso's at least made this race interesting, is what I would say. I think overall this race has been a little bit drab. Of course, Verstappen has just absolutely killed it. So has Perez. Those two have been just absolutely coasting around for like the last 30 odd laps. Leclerc was never going to catch him. And then Leclerc's engine going pop has allowed a little bit of drama with Hamilton and Alonso. But overall, I don't think it's been that much of an interesting race, guys. I don't know about your thoughts. Don't know about your thoughts. But yeah, guys, if you can, I really appreciate all the subs. Sunil, thank you, buddy. Anyone else who has subbed in the meantime, if you can hit that like button, I think we're at 150 likes now. There's over 700 of you in here. A great start to the season, guys. Really appreciate it. I'm doing my own, actually, F1 League race tonight as well. So if you want to tune in for that this evening, going up against some big streamers in the F1 car. So on iRacing. So I do like to pretend I'm an F1 driver as well. Although I'm too old and I'm too fat for that. I'll never be able to fit in an F1 car. I'm also too tall for them as well. But yeah. as we are on the last lap, guys. White flag as Verstappen goes through turn 1 right now. It's been a very ominous display, guys. It's just, unfortunately, Ronaldo, I'm not going to share any accounts with anyone. This is quite an affordable way to watch F1. £20 English pounds for this data for a yearly subscription. So that's about just under £2 English pounds per race. I think that's an absolute steal, to be honest, with all this data and information that you get. So yeah, but it's been another ominous display by the Red Bulls. Started and picked up exactly where they left last year. So yeah, absolutely crazy. A crazy result for them, really. I don't think I think people expected them to win this race, but not in the manner that they've done. I mean, it's pure dominance, isn't it? And it's quite scary, I think. It's one thing for them to win races like this at the end of last season, but to start off like this year is, yeah, absolutely crazy. So Tsunoda still on the back of Albon. And here we go, guys. Max Verstappen as he comes round the last corner. Turn 14 for me is technically the last corner. 15 is pretty redundant. And here we go, guys. Across the line, and Max Verstappen is your Bahrain 2023 winner, which automatically means he is going to finish second in this year's championship because of the Bahrain Grand Prix curse. I'm only joking, guys. I don't believe in such things. But, yeah, an ominous display by Verstappen and Perez because they've just absolutely finished 26 seconds ahead of Alonso. Max finished 38 seconds ahead of Alonso. And as Alonso, who still hasn't crossed the finish line, here he comes. Turn 14, turn 15. Alonso, man. P3, a podium on his Aston Martin debut. Maga. What a man. L-Plan. Fully in action, guys. Sainz in 4th, Hamilton in 5th, Stroll in 6th. What a great result for Stroll as well. Pretty much driving with one hand and 9 toes, by sounds of it. Russell in 7th position. Bottas holding off a charging Gasly. Gasly, what a drive. 11 positions made up there by Gasly. Started dead last in 9th position. A bit of strategy. Good strategy calls by Alpine. That is an absolute bonus to them. What a drive. And Albon. Go on, Albono. Sorry if I was a bit loud there, guys. Go on, Albono. Who would have thought Williams would get a point today? Get in there. Love to see it. Just holding off Tsunoda. A great drive from Tsunoda as well. And, yeah, Logan Sargent finishing 12th in his... Logan Sargent finishing 12th as well. What a result for them. Magnussen not doing very well in the Haas. De Vries, an okay result, I'd say, for De Vries. He definitely picked up 5 positions. That's not too bad. Hulkenberg, absolute shocker in 15th. Zhou, fastest lap of the race, in 16th position. Norris, absolute shocker for McLaren today. They were last of the finishers and had a retired car. Ocon, as we said earlier on, had a year's worth of penalties, so decided to retire. And Leclerc engine went poof. And there we go, guys. That is the end and the results of the Bahrain Grand Prix 2023. Wow. How long has it been since an Alonso podium? Oh, good question. Since Ferrari, I think. So 2012? I think 2012 was when he left Ferrari. Is that right? Or was he in 2012, in 2014? No, because that was when Vettel joined. Vettel joined in 2014, didn't he? For the hybrid era. No. It's around 2012 to 2014. I can't remember when he last had a podium off the top of my head. But, yeah. Let's sum up the race. A very ominous display by Red Bull. Alonso, unbelievable result for them to finish on the podium, and for Aston Martin, who would have thought that, making like from where they were last year to this year, great development from them as a team as a whole. Carlos Sainz Carlos Sainz finishing 4th. Not a great day for them, of course. Sainz really struggling there at the end with tyre deg, and Leclerc, obviously, engine issue. And Hamilton in 5th. I think, to be fair, that's as best as they could have hoped for. Mercedes 5th. Russell, you'd like to think Russell could have beaten Stroll, because Stroll is obviously not physically fit yet. He's not 100%. So there's pace to come out of Stroll for him to get up to speed with the car as well. He missed testing entirely. So Hamilton... And just listening to Hamilton, yeah, serious work to do. A good result, though, he's saying, for the team. How times change, eh? How times change, guy. Alonso podium hands, yeah. Merc, disappointing. Very much so. They've pretty much confirmed that they're going to have to change the concept of the car. I think this year is going to be pretty much the same as last year. Might be quick in some of the races at certain tracks, but I think overall they just haven't got... Well, they quite clearly haven't got the pace compared to Red Bull or Ferrari even. The only thing that's holding Ferrari back is their tyre degradation. They really need to improve the car aerodynamically to make sure that that car just doesn't tear through its tyres, because they're able to... I've been intriguing to hear the data and read on the data after the race, guys, when these Twitter pages really sift through it, because Verstappen and Perez were able to take those soft tyres like a similar distance that the Ferraris were able to take the hards. And you'd think automatically the hard is 2 compounds, like, what's the right word? Harder. That's not the word I was looking for, but like you'd think that it's going to last considerably longer, and it just didn't. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. But Bottas, who's driver of the day, guys? I've got a funny feeling who I know is going to be driver of the day. I've got a funny feeling, but we'll run a poll anyway. But guys, if you can hit that, I know I keep asking for it. If you can hit the like button, if you can, more importantly for me, if you can hit the subscribe button, because we are fast approaching. I am less than 90 subscribers away from 10k, and that is a milestone that I've been just never thought this channel would reach, and been looking forward to for some time. So if you can do it, it'd be much appreciated. This is the first of many watch-alongs this year, guys, and of course I do sim racing content on here as well. So let's run a poll, and let's give you guys your say. I need to end the poll from earlier. Funnily enough, a number of you guessed Max Verstappen would win the race. And Brandon, also, big thank you for the $5, buddy. I completely missed that donation. So thank you, buddy. Much appreciated. So, driver of the day. Let's... I think there's 4 options, really. But for me, it's 2. It's particularly 2 drivers. So let's show you there. There we go, guys. Who is your driver of the day? For me, I think realistically there's 4 drivers you could say are driver of the day. I think there's 2 in particular who are joints. You got Max, Alonso, Gasly, and Bottas. For me, I think for me it's Alonso, because in the manner in which he got the podium. Then it's a very, very close second. Very, very close second is Perez. Not Perez. No, he finished second. Is Gasly. Coming from 20th position to 9th. Like, I think that's brilliant. But I don't think Gasly really did too much on-track overtaking. A lot of that was down really to Alpine's strategy. So more of the credit goes to them than it does to necessarily him. But Alonso got to P3 from his pace and his driving ability. So that's why for me he is P3. Thanks, Hans. Thanks, buddy. For me, it's... Oh, sorry, I completely forgot Logan Sargent. I mean, you could also say Albon in that as well. I'm just kind of going from places gained because of, like, the manner in which they did things. I think for me, it's between Alonso and Gasly. I know obviously a lot of people will be going, well, Max won the first race, like where he picked up from last season, like so ominously. But like considering what else happened below him in regards to gaining positions and that, I think other drivers deserved it ahead of him. Great drive from Max though. I mean, you can't ask. Red Bull will be sitting there going, "You've done the perfect job." Bad lift to drag ratio compared to the Red Bull. Oh, well, that was only the first race of the season. Overall, don't know about you guys. Don't know what your thoughts on it were. If you had to describe it in a sentence, I would say, thank God for Alonso. I think genuinely that is what my summary of this race would be, because I think if it wasn't for Alonso's antics of going wheel to wheel with Hamilton, overtaking Sainz the way he did, having his tussle with Russell, I don't think that race would have been really that enjoyable. And I don't think we're going to look back at this race as a classic, that's for sure. It definitely wasn't as good as last year with Max and Charles, and then of course with the engine issues that Max and Perez had at the end to make it a little bit dramatic. I think it was a little bit of a boring start to the year, if you ask me. Red Bull ominously, I know I keep using that word, like ridiculously so far out front at the start. As just a general fan, as a neutral of F1, it doesn't look good for the season ahead. That was such an easy win for him. So 2 weeks time we have Saudi Arabia, a bit of a different track, smoother track surface, so that might play into other teams' hands. But I'm expecting more of the same. I really am expecting more of the same. Are we seeing a Schumacher-esque domination now with Max and Red Bull, where they're just so far ahead? At least with Mercedes, they only had a couple of years where they weren't challenged. It was just inter-team battles. They at least normally had like Ferrari taking it to them. But Ferrari look like they've just not made any improvements since last year. Their tyre deck looks very high. Of course, this is a very high abrasive surface, so this is where you're going to see the most deg across the season. So there's that factor to come into it. They'll probably be better at Saudi Arabia in a couple of weeks' time because of the smoother track surface. But I still think Red Bull just got the overall pace on everyone, quite clearly. Red Bull is a rocket again, Jenny. Yes, they are. They totally are. But let's have a look, guys, at... let's have a look at Twitter, shall we? Let's see what everyone's saying on Twitter. I bet there's a few things going on there. Let's see what everyone's reactions are post-race. Oh, let's see if they're saying anything in the cool-down room afterwards as well. Probably not too much to say, to be honest, because Red Bull had a lonely race. Who was calling McLaren a tractor earlier? Steve, thank you for the sub, buddy. Much appreciated. I think the thing is, though, Marlon, you say it's not fair for Vettel. You can say that on one hand, but I think Vettel was very content with leaving F1 last year. I don't think he wanted to stay around regardless. His mind is on other things. He's got 3 young daughters that he wants to spend time with. His priorities are elsewhere now, and that's fair enough. I think he's at peace with that. So, yeah, not really too much to say, it seems, in the cool-down room. So, right, let's have a look at some tweets then. Thank God Aston are genuinely challenges to Mercedes at the moment, providing just about the only action of the race. So, yeah, that was earlier on during the race, most definitely. That was the only thing that provided any sort of interest and entertainment throughout, I think. That's just my opinion. Logan Sargent had the most. Why is this guy in F1 comments going into the season? And he's doing a sterling job. 33 minutes ago. You've got to say, based on the evidence of today, Aston Martin were right to get Stroll back in the car. He's done a super solid job with no testing as well, remember. Yeah, I noticed that. And he's not fully fit. So I expect Aston Martin to take it to Stroll to be in the fight for some podiums this year as well. We'll truly get to see this year if Stroll is the real deal or not. Does he justify actually having a place in F1? When you're finally given a car that has an opportunity of fighting for podiums and taking it to the big boys, you need to take your chance. Now, he's always going to have an F1 seat as long as his dad is in Formula 1 and owns the team. But for his critics, this is the year for him to silence a load of them. So, Seb said Aston would be good next year and therefore wanting Mick to get his seat. Yeah. 12 minutes ago from Spanners, host of the Missed Apex podcast, which I am also a panelist of, guys. So please go and subscribe to them. I'm not on there this evening, but I will be on there throughout this year in midweek news segments and race reviews at some point as well. I'm also going to do like short opinion videos this year, debrief videos after, not necessarily after the races, but like, yeah, summarising stuff that has come out after the race and things on like Mondays and Tuesdays. Things are as they are and not as I wish them to be. Red Bull are supreme with Max being super messed. Never. Is that a word? Super messed, or is that a typo? Ferrari are something of a car but continues to neglect reliability. Aston have made a great start and Mercedes will not sandbagging. It's a long season. Bring it on. Very much so. Yeah, that was the penalties. A summarise of the penalty. Actually, it was a 15-second penalty, I think. How dare Max Verstappen be this good? Chris was tweeting a lot. Jesus. Mercedes defending the undercut to one of their customer teams. So that's my page. That's a bit boring, to be fair. My page isn't really giving much away, is it? It's all old stuff. So Fernando Alonso on the podium. I bet they had that. I bet they had that saved up, ready to press send in their drafts. Thank you, Kaz. No, much appreciated. And thank you to everyone who tuned in today as well. Really appreciate the support. We had a peak of, I think, about 750 viewers. Really, really appreciate the love. All the likes, all the subscriptions. We are... Oh, sorry, that's the wrong page. I do apologise. We've got 171 likes. Really appreciate that. We've got over 10,000 individual views on the stream. And we are currently sitting at 9,925 subscribers. So that's been nearly 100 subs this stream. So a big, big thank you to you all. And this is only the start, guys. This is only the start. We'll be back for plenty more. We'll be back, well, yeah, obviously for the next watch along in 2 weeks' time. But I'll be doing content in between then as well. Driver of the day, Fernando Alonso. Wasn't going to be anyone else, was it? Actually, how was the poll getting on? I didn't see how the poll was. So let's end the poll. I'm going to end it. And it was 627 votes. 66% of you said Alonso. 24% said Max. 8% said Gasly. And poor Bottas. Not even one of you. Not even one of you voted for Bottas. I think he deserves some love. I hate to admit he was right. Gunther Steiner excited for Bomb 2023 Ferrari engine. Yeah, it was kind of make myself larger. 41 years young. I thought he was 42. 41 and scoring his 99th career podium. Who would have... And he had a year outside of F1, didn't he, as well? To come back. Who would have thought that? Right. So if anyone, guys, if there is one Twitter page that you want to go out and follow out there today after this watch along, is of course mine. You can go and follow me over on Twitter. I don't tweet too much. I'm trying to more. Only at 421 followers. But another one is this page here. F1 Data Analysis is he rightfully has got over 100,000 subscribers. He deserves 1 million, in my opinion, because he breaks down the data of F1 for us normies. So much so. So he's here his initial faults. So he's been analysing the data throughout testing and through practice and qualifying. Breaks it down really well for us. But this is his initial faults as per watching the race. Absolutely dominant Red Bull. Clear for everyone to see. Ferrari a clear second, but disastrous reliability. Aston Martin quicker than Merc thanks to great downforce, good wear. Alpha and Williams way better than in quali. Bottas best of the rest, and Albon in the points, opposite of Haas, who were very good in qualifying. McLaren and Alpine were comical. The McLaren, man, that's 2 years in a row that they've finished like right down the bottom. No Rose Mining, appreciate you being here, buddy, and modding as always. What is the team standings? I'll have a look at that in a second. I'm sure they'll post it. Red Bull are going to be top. Then it will be Aston Martin, I think. It'll be either Aston Martin or Mercedes second. I think Sainz finished fourth. So Ferrari, yeah, I think Ferrari may be third or fourth. But yeah, everyone who whinged about Lance Stroll being unable to drive the car properly can now use your account to apologise. Yeah, that is true. Won't lie. A great point for Williams as well with Albon in the car. Albon really showing that he is actually a good F1 driver, guys. I think this could be a great career move for Alonso. I know, right? Still making career moves at 41. What great drive from this man. Considering he wasn't. So another one, Craig Scarborough breaks down the data very well. Red Bull racing at the pace and tyre management. Ferrari, that's the key one for me. Is of course the unreliability is key because they need to finish. But poor tyre management, that was really noticeable. Very, very noticeable. Mercedes, great, still at pace, but retain great tyre management. Really benefits when it has DRS. Okay. AMR, and then just exclamation marks from McLaren. So is there anything else? That is so accurate. I've got to retweet that. That is brilliant. The F in F1 now stands for Fernando. Vamos! Yep. Let's have a look at latest, see what anyone else is saying. Driver of the day. There's the reactions from Sky. 53% of the vote as well. He got 66% of my vote. At 41 years old. Still doing it. Ooh, that's a bit harsh. Once again, I'm reminded that being a Ferrari fan can be hazardous for your mental health. That is true, Jags. Yeah. Lance Stroll wasn't 100% fit, so it'd be interesting to see how that. Obviously, Alonso's getting all the plaudits today, rightfully so. But how is the team dynamic? We know Alonso has always been a problem in every team that he's been a part of. Every team. He's a very feisty character, and he wants things his own way. Today, things went his own way. He knew, like, he was quite clearly the quickest Aston Martin driver. But Lance Stroll, a very impressive performance today, while obviously having a damaged wrist and having a broken toe. So he's not driving at full capacity, and of course only had a few days practice as well. He didn't have the free full day testing sessions that Alonso had. So he's had less time in the car. How is that dynamic going to play out when Lance Stroll maybe starts beating Alonso and they start fighting for positions, or he out-qualifies him and stuff? then things are gonna get interesting in the Aston Martin team. So stay safe, Alonso. Yeah, age has no limits. Skillful driving, especially in today's world, especially with the advancements of sports science, etc. It is definitely drivers. The time of when, if drivers truly want it, which Fernando clearly still does, if they mentally want it, then there's no reason why they can't stay physically fit to still race these cars into their 40s. And I think that's what you'll see from Hamilton. As long as he still wants it, then he will stay in F1 for as long as like Alonso has or is. Nothing to smile about, my life. Wow, look at that. But yeah, there we go, guys. So that is the let's see if anything new. Fernando Alonso with his trophy. There were some great moves there. Live footage of Leclerc.
I wish I was dead. Kill me.
All right.
I wish I was dead. Kill me.
Funny. But let's head back to my main page, see if anything else has been said, any new information. Had quite a few digs so far, fair enough. I was cleared over, but my doubts were based on the scale of the claims. The Spanners were saying, oh, it's not going to happen with Alonso, but it did. It did. Campos Racing has been fined €5,000 after personnel representing one of Bushon's sponsors left the designated guest areas. What? Representatives of the Moon will be denied access to reserved areas of F1, F2 and F3 events for the rest of the year. Fair enough. Banger after banger. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much it for this race. What a race. Well, I say what a race. I'm talking that up like it was a great race, but it wasn't, was it really? I think it was a little bit meh, a little bit of a damp squib. If it wasn't for Alonso, I don't think really we'd be sitting here talking too much about it. And I think over the coming days, no one is really... All the news at the moment, and rightfully so, and the plaudits are all on Fernando Alonso because of that, one, the age he is, and two, the fact he's driving for Aston Martin and they've just beaten a Mercedes and a Ferrari. But I think as the evening progresses and as everyone kind of dies down and that kind of that hype of Alonso's result dies down, I think there'll be more discussion about, one, the concern of Red Bull's dominance in this race, because it is a concern, not just for the other teams, but I think for fans as a whole, because we do want a close championship. And well, that was more of like what we saw Max and Red Bull at the second half of last season, and then Ferrari as well. Ferrari with Leclerc's reliability, one, having to change the battery unit before the race even started. And then, of course, the engine going, an engine issue of some sort that forced him to retire and pull over the car. So, yeah, if it wasn't for Alonso, I don't think there would be too much to talk about in that race other than what I've just mentioned. On-track action was quite limited, and most of the overtakes were done, really, I think, through... strategy calls from people trying to get into some clean air and do the overcuts or the mainly the undercut, which was a big benefit of Gasly forcing his way up the grid the way he did. One of the things that Alpine actually did right this weekend. But I will say this actually, who do we think, I'm not going to put a poll up, but who would you say, type in the chat, who has been your who had the worst race today? From a driving perspective, not team, but from a driving perspective, which driver had the worst race? I know who it pretty much is, but I just want to hear from you guys. Who do you think had the worst race today? And I want to hear your opinions for that. If you just type that in the chat, for me, I don't think you can look past Ocon. You can't look past Ocon with all those penalties, but are self-inflicted as well. This is the thing. These are not penalties that have been inflicted by a poor pit release or something else out of his control. The fact of it, he got a 5. The fact of it, he was too far in his start box. Then doesn't serve the penalty correctly, which you can kind of put on the team, I guess, or maybe he just didn't serve it correctly himself. Then speeds in the pit lane. It's so poor, isn't it? Lando, well, Lando, the thing is with Lando, he's limited by the car. I think that's more of a McLaren issue than it is a Lando issue. He can only do what he can with the car that he's been provided with. And the same with Piastri. Piastri's retirement wasn't his fault. It's the car's fault, the team's fault. And the same with Lando as well. So yeah, there we go, guys. But if you can, just before I go and shoot off and spend some now quality time with the missus, as I've left her alone for the last 2 hours. If you can hit the like button once more, we are at 175 likes. Thank you, guys. Much appreciated. If we get that to 200, that'd be amazing. And if you can hit the subscribe button, which is more important for me. I sound like a broken record. If every single one of you who is left in this stream right now hasn't subscribed, and you do, we will get over to 10k subscribers, and that'd be absolutely amazing. I'm just over 70 away, I think it is, from getting to 10k, so that'd be amazing. But yeah, that's it, guys. That is the first watch along of the year, the Bahrain Grand Prix 2023. Ominous display from Max Verstappen and the Red Bull team as a whole. Charles Leclerc and Ferrari, a day to forget for them. Hopefully they get their act together in Saudi Arabia. Aston Martin, Fernando Alonso rolling back the years with a podium. Aston Martin is truly a quick car, and Mercedes has competition to finish, I think, third in the championship. I think at this moment in time, based on the first race alone, of course, certain tracks are going to suit different cars better. Aston Martin is actually the third fastest car on track. And then, well, a poor day at the office for McLaren, and some sneaky results throughout the midfield that I'm sure we'll unpackage in the week or in the coming weeks. Worst driver Bottas? How dare you? I think Bottas was one of the best drivers today. I think he was probably the 4th best driver out there, taking it Alfa Romeo to 8th place, I think it is. Was it 8th place? I mean, that's a good result for Alfa Romeo. A very good result, and something that hasn't really got, he hasn't gained enough credit for at the moment, because a lot of the plaudits are going to other drivers. But yeah, guys, appreciate it once more, and I will see you, hopefully I'll see you this evening, because I'm doing a F1 League race tonight, which I will be streaming. And then, of course, some new iRacing content throughout the week with the new season. And then we have, of course, the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix next week, which we'll be doing our next watch along for. So yeah, have a lovely rest of your Sunday, guys, wherever you are in the world. And much love, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hang on.